Warning, this episode contains spoilers for Get Out, Logan, Star Wars The Last Jedi, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Mother, Valerian, Alien Covenant, Blade Runner 2049, Thor Ragnarok, The Shape of Water, Stranger Things, Black Mirror, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and possibly others. Hello and welcome to Reaction Shots for 2017.
It's over.
It's January 2018 and we're looking back.
I can't handle it.
Yeah.
How is I don't know. Like E3 is 5 months away, and I feel like E3 it just happened.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
Flying by.
It's been an insane roller coaster of a year.
It has been.
Not only in cinema, but in the world.
Yep.
But here we are to talk about the cinematic aspects of 2017.
Some great cinema.
There's some great cinema in 2017. I'm just going to list off some kind of random movies that came off in 2017. So we all have some of the same movies in our minds
Some
here.
context.
The Lure, John Wick Chapter 2, Get Out, Logan, Kong Skull Island, Guardians 2, Alien Covenant, Wonder Woman, Baby Driver, Spider-Man Homecoming, Dunkirk, Valerian, Dark Tower, Wind River, It, Mother, Kingsman Golden Circle, Blade Runner 2049, My Little Pony the Movie, Thor Ragnarok, Blade of the Immortal, Lady Bird, 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri, Justice League, Coco, The Disaster Artist, The Shape of Water, I, Tonya, Star Wars The Last Jedi, Your Name, and probably many others.
Many others.
Yeah.
Ton of movies. Ton of movies I didn't see.
I have not seen that I was going to try to see before this, but didn't have the time. I haven't seen Coco or I, Tonya yet.
Okay. I saw I, Tonya. I haven't seen The Post. I haven't seen...
No, I didn't see The Post.
I haven't seen Phantom Thread.
I haven't seen that either.
I haven't seen
I heard it get
3 Billboards.
I saw 3 Billboards.
I haven't seen it.
But we did see a lot of movies.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked to the patrons. We had a lot of comments. And none of the movies we haven't seen were even mentioned.
Okay.
Except for Coco. Did you see Coco?
No.
Okay. I meant to see it this week, but then I didn't.
It looked delightful. Brad Ellis saw it. He loved it.
I'll have to see it soon. So I'm sorry about that.
Yep.
We can't catch them all.
Can't catch them all.
But we do catch most of them. What a weird way to start a movie podcast. Hi, we're doing a movie podcast. We didn't see any movies. See ya.
We saw a lot. We saw a lot. There's also a lot of TV we saw.
Yeah.
Lot of TV.
I saw a Polish mermaid horror musical.
The hell?
The Lure. So, you know.
I think you told me about this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, so pretty much we're just going to go through the year, talk about movies.
Let's do it.
And then I've got a lot of comments from the patrons. And then I have collated their top movies and bottom movies into a little list. And I have their most surprising, like the movie that surprised them the most. I've got a list of that. And then at the end of the episode, Huber and I will each give our own personal top 5s. And then we'll do a joint top 5 for reaction shots.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's going to be a roller coaster.
I'm excited.
So first of all, what was your favorite film of this year, Huber?
Immediately? We're starting this?
Boom. Starting with positivity.
It's between a couple. It's between Dunkirk, Shape of Water, and Blade Runner 2049.
Nice.
Those 3. It's really hard to lock it down to just one because they all gave me something different.
Okay.
Dunkirk, when I walked out of that theater, I collapsed near a fountain and I just wept.
Wow.
I wept for humanity.
Wow.
Because of the horrors of war. Like, this movie really got to me. It was overwhelming. Like, Dunkirk is an overwhelming movie, you know, if you just let it in and you think about just life and everything, and it's all... It was just intense. It was heavy, you know?
Yeah.
And then Blade Runner 2049 is like my favorite type of movie.
Right.
Like sci-fi, detective, noir.
Right.
So cool.
Long.
Just like maybe the most beautiful movie ever made.
Visually stunning.
Yeah.
Out of control.
And then Shape of Water is just...
Pure Guillermo.
Like the most Guillermo movie ever. Yeah. It's just...
It like super is.
Like it was like there was a lot to be sad about in the movie, but I was just smiling the whole time because I was just there was just so much joy in it. You could
Yeah.
see the joy just coming off of it.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain.
That was interesting too because it left my sister really sad, and I don't.
It's like
I don't wanna
a melancholy
specifically give away anything, but
Yeah.
I think that it does all. It has a lot to do with how you interpret, like how you're being told the story, like how you feel at the end.
Yeah.
Because I was near tears with happiness at the end.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very intense,
Yeah.
cool, weird, bizarre movie.
Yep.
But like, kind of also like it's very weird because it sort of just goes. It like
It does.
there's conflict obviously, but like Michael Shannon is just so nutso,
Yeah.
and the main characters are just so wholesome and lovely.
So Richard
Just-
frickin' Jenkins every time.
yeah. Oh
God.
man, it's just a very
And Sally
cozy movie.
Hawkins, oh, she's amazing in
She's
that.
so
I
good.
can't even handle how good she is.
Yeah. I also really appreciated the way that they did her character where she really felt like a person to me. Like
Yep.
even her like the way they showed her sexuality was really interesting to me. I really
Yeah.
liked that. You
Like,
know, it's
right
just kind
out
of
of
a
the gate.
routine.
Yep.
Immediately in the movie,
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
masturbation scene, got it. Like,
Yep.
but it didn't feel exploitative or anything. It felt like, okay, we're seeing her routine, seeing what kind
Yeah.
of person she is, seeing what her deal is. It's all very cool.
Yeah.
Very
And
cool.
and just like, and it wasn't even about like sex really. You
Yeah,
know, there's
no.
like, anytime someone goes in and just like gets naked and has like a loving embrace,
Yeah.
that gets me
Yeah,
rather than
yeah.
like rip the clothes off. Let's
Right,
go.
right,
like,
right.
Like, you know, just all about
Yeah.
seeing each other. Like,
Yeah.
that came across really well.
And consent, which
Yeah.
I like. Yeah, that's great. And Blade Runner, yeah.
Yeah.
We meant to do a spoiler mode on Blade Runner.
Yes. This movie.
I love it. I mean, out of the gate, we must acknowledge that it has some pretty startling, like glaring issues when it comes to race relations and you know, the handling of female characters. But I also think that has a lot to do with how you read the movie too.
Well, I thought the main like villain chick was a badass.
Oh yeah, she's
Hunter,
cool.
dude.
Yeah. And my kind of read on Blade Runner 1 and 2 is it's stories about egotistical men who are unimportant in the system that they live in, trying to either fighting against or coming to grips with the fact that they don't really matter in like a big picture sort of way.
Jared Leto, man, playing God.
Yeah. But I mean,
And
also,
she was kind of like his slave in a way. Like,
but I mean the main characters too. Like Deckard in the first one realizes he's a small fish in a giant ocean, but then tries to rage against it. For better or worse, because I think Deckard is the villain of the first movie, pretty much. And then in this movie, it's
Roy, man, he just wants to.
Yeah,
just wants to live.
it's him realizing that he just wants to live, and then he thinks he's important, and then he finds out he's not. Which, you know, obviously spoilers for 2017, by the way. We forgot to say that.
Yeah.
We'll try to not, but I just spoiled Blade Runner.
You can
a little
like
bit.
flash it in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's what I usually do.
Okay, good call.
Just throw that spoilers.
Yeah. Please be advised.
Yeah.
Spoilers 2017. But yeah, Blade Runner.
That
Visual smorgasbord.
And the audio.
Oh
The
god.
fight scene when in the car is like by the beach,
Yeah.
water.
Yeah, it's
oh
insanity.
my goodness.
One like when they're like crashing plane noises, like plane engines, it sounds like in the music, and like I've told this story I think before, but I mean I love Blade Runner. I love that kind of world. I love synths, obviously.
Yo, that
When the movie started, it just a shot of an eye, and then like every synth. I literally, I almost started crying just because I was like so excited. But yeah,
That's something I want to bring up too. Is in the peak TV era, as they're calling it nowadays.
is that what they're calling?
Peak TV
Okay.
is the lingo apparently.
Because it's so good, or just because there's so much of it?
Both.
Ah.
Yeah. I have, I've always appreciated the scope of the movie theater,
Yeah.
and I'm appreciating it even more. Like 2017,
Sure.
I doubled down. Like, I want to go to the movie theater to like see something big.
spectacle,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And like there were a lot of those movies this year, which I really appreciated. Like, and Blade Runner is why I bring it up.
Yeah.
Because it was just such a feast.
It's like the 50s all over again. Movies have to dazzle
Yeah.
to get people to come to the theater.
Yep.
Because otherwise everybody's sitting in front of the boob tube.
Exactly. You can't do Dunkirk IMAX
Right.
on Netflix. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, Netflix.
It's unreal.
Although I have, like, unbeknownst to me, like, sat down to watch Netflix at, like, my sister's house or whatever.
Yeah.
And, like, suddenly realizing it's in 4K, you know? Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, like,
Yeah.
because I didn't expect it to be in 4K. So
Yep.
I'm just like, cheaty. Why can I see your entire face? What's happening? The Good Place, by the way, great
Dude, I've
show.
only seen season 1.
Ah!
And it's amazing. I finished it all. Because it's on...
Finish it!
It's on... I finished season 1.
They show it on, like, NBC.com or whatever. If you
Okay.
wanna, I think.
I forget. It's on Netflix, maybe?
Season 1's on Netflix.
Yeah, I finished season 1 on Netflix, and then now... Yeah.
Oh, man, that show.
Really good.
That show is crazy.
Yeah.
Wait, season 2 is still happening, I think. Yeah, it just came back from a hiatus. It got
Okay.
preempted because of football
Oh, okay.
or something, and now it just came back.
So I got a long way to wait if I want to wait for Netflix.
Yeah, I think season 2 is still happening, but check NBC.com. I think they have them on there.
Cool.
You have to watch commercials, but Volker Bach? I'm going to mispronounce everybody's last names.
It's okay.
I was on I misshelved this comment. This is for least favorite. Moving that. 1 second. Okay.
War sucks.
What?
War. Just thinking of Dunkirk, man.
It never changes either.
It's so brutal.
Okay. Ace Jackson, favorite movie. A Silent Voice, Your Name, and Coco. It was a 3-way animation tie.
Dang.
Of these, I saw Your Name. Very lovely movie.
Is that the Japanese one?
Yeah, anime. Very intense. Pretty crazy, like, sci-fi story. I don't want to say too much about it
Nice.
without ruining it. But Ace Jackson says, they all have some things in common in terms of what makes them excellent. Characterization, storytelling, and beauty of the animation. I cried during all 3 of them, none as much as Coco, but that's just because of my connection to the story and culture. Nothing compared to these films for me. Nothing reached their heights. There's like when animation hits, I think it can do things that live action can't do, because you have that perfect blend of you can have it grounded in some kind of reality, but then it can just do these fanciful things. Mm-hmm. And if it's measured and paced out in the way that Your Name is, I've seen every other Pixar movie, so in the way I imagine Coco is, you can have this thing where it's a metered out kind of reality, and then it just shifts it slightly in a way that's easier to do in animation, because you don't have like some glaring CG effect all of a sudden or something, because it's just still part of the same world. And I really appreciate the medium for that.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't come out
that.
this year, but somebody mentioned Castle of Cagliostro, and I love that movie.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Ooh, Lupin the Third. Yeah. You'd like that movie. Studio Ghibli?
Ghibli.
Did it. And it's really weird. They did a collaboration with Lupin the Third.
I've brought it up a million times, Ian. It's so hard for me to watch things unless I have immediate access, whether I'm like a Netflix subscriber or a physical thing in my hand.
Yeah.
And over the years, I've seen a lot of Ghibli movies, but over the years, trying to watch them all has proved, what's the word I'm looking for?
Elusive?
Sure. It's proved elusive because they're so damn expensive.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
And I don't think they're on
like $45 for a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
They're really hard to track.
It's like
down.
It's like the Suncoast video days all over again.
Yeah. I know there's so many sites where you can stream it, but I'm weird like that.
Yeah.
I
wonder
illegal
if it's
streams.
on Crunchyroll or whatever. Or some of them have to be Criterion. You could get them on Filmstruck.
Filmstruck.
Filmstruck is a new service. This is going to sound like an ad. I haven't used it yet. But it's basically Netflix for like art films.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and they have all the Criterion collection. Yeah. I've been thinking about checking it out.
You can stream the entire Criterion Collection.
I'm pretty sure.
Holy
when
moly.
Hulu had quote unquote the entire Criterion, they were missing a few, like Night of the Hunter they didn't have for some reason. So I'm not, I think it's the entire collection, but I don't want to like say that and be wrong. But
check that out.
Filmstruck.
Excellent.
We should try to get them to sponsor the show.
Yeah. We just advertised for them.
Favorite movie, Jack Price says Baby Driver. Not only an outstanding piece of technical filmmaking, but also an absolute blast to watch. The music synchronization could have easily been a gimmick that got annoying very quickly, but thanks to some great music choices and fantastic direction, this movie just cemented Edgar Wright as being one of my favorite directors currently working in cinema. With amazing car chases, great acting, and solid pacing, this is an absolute must-see. I agree.
I really like it.
Baby Driver is
I thought
fantastic.
I'd like it more.
Yeah.
I'm really weird. Bank robberies are my favorite thing of all time, so I'm really critical.
Pressure up.
I'm very critical of a bank heist. I like loud bank heists. I like traditional bank heists. I'm a stickler for that. I love when they go in, they kick down the door, they shoot up in the air, everyone down on your knees in the vault, funneling money into the bag. Spare me.
To be fair, all those things happen in the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yes.
But we're out with Baby in the car.
Yeah.
So we see that.
I know.
And we're just listening to the bell bottoms.
Yeah. The chases were good. There was good.
The chases were phenomenal. Like that opening chase was like the best car chase since the first 15
really
minutes
good.
of Drive, I think.
It was the first one was super. But
Yeah.
that's the thing is like I loved the beginning.
Yeah.
And I really loved the beginning, and then I kind of just really liked the rest of the movie.
That's actually a trend I've noticed in car chase movies, or movies like this.
The beginning of Drive is the best part.
The beginning of Drive, and I like the entirety of Drive.
Yeah.
But the beginning is the most tension. It's really hard to open with a bang with a great set piece and then top it later.
It's almost like they made its own little standalone short film,
Right.
You know?
Yeah, in both Drive and this.
Yeah.
But I mean, the technological and artistic accomplishment of the music synchronization in this movie, and they're totally right. Jack is totally right that it could have been a gimmick. It could have been just a music video, but it was so well done that sometimes you even didn't notice it when it was happening.
Totally.
And because that's just, it's good editing, and their editor was on set basically live editing the movie.
That's crazy.
To make sure that they got the timing right.
That's crazy.
He was on a mobile edit cart. It's nuts. Just ingesting the dailies, cutting rough
just Hollywood
things.
Feature.
And he's just and then he's just the timing worked, or we need to redo that part because it's a little off.
Crazy.
It's bonkers, dude. It's so cool.
That'd be cool.
And
making of.
Yeah, I watched a video about the editing. Yeah, and they storyboarded meticulously, and one of the cool things with Baby Driver is naturally they had to get the licensing for the songs basically at the script phase, at the writing phase, because if they didn't know what songs they were doing, they couldn't write it, they couldn't time it, they couldn't storyboard it, they couldn't do all of that. So it's kind of backwards to how most movies work, where they're you license the movies a little late, or the music a little later in the process.
Yeah.
That one was very interesting in that
Will
way.
this movie run into problems 50 years from now? Will licenses run out with
who knows?
music?
It depends on the contracts for the thing. I mean, I imagine they just got,
They got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we'll have a Quantum Break situation or
okay.
whatever. Was it Quantum Break? No, Alan Wake.
Alan Wake.
Because it was one song.
Yeah. And Quantum Break too, I think.
Do you remember the one song that they...
I forget.
Yeah. Brittany Fuller, favorite movie was Get Out.
Get out! Get out!
She says, I keep going over all the movies I've seen this year, and Get Out is the one movie that I cannot find any faults with. This movie checks every box. The acting is superb. The story makes for an incredible piece of horror. It's uncomfortable, unsettling, and it's harsh reflection. It is a harsh reflection of the worst parts of society. Jordan Peele crafted an exquisite piece of entertainment that also speaks about the exploitation and commodification of black people and their bodies in America. I think it's unfortunate that coming out at the beginning of the year will likely leave it susceptible to the allures of movies that are lesser but more fresh within the zeitgeist. I think
Golden
that's
Globe nominations,
very
though.
true. Yeah, but not a win. Also,
yeah, true. But still, it is represented. That's pretty awesome.
That's true. The fact that it was shelved under comedy is very weird.
He apparently wanted it, though.
Really?
That's what I heard. I don't know if they fact checked that, but
Okay.
because I was talking about it too with
Yeah.
Beth, and she was like, no, he wanted it to.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
So
What won that? I think it was Lady Bird? Or was that drama?
drama was 3 Billboards. So
I think
Lady Bird.
Lady Bird won comedy.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, Lady Bird is one of my favorite films of the year, and I just realized I never talked about my favorite films of the year. But
yeah, I was like, are you gonna? I thought you were saving it. For later.
I guess I'll save it.
Okay.
No, I'll do it now. Yeah, I mean, Get Out and Lady Bird are definitely 2 of my favorites of the year. And obviously Blade Runner 2049. Like, despite its glaring flaws, I love that movie. Because I think it's daring. It's very weird to describe a giant blockbuster movie as daring, but like, I'm just amazed and saddened that the studio just kind of let Denis Villeneuve do his thing and let it be that long, let it be a measured pacing, let it be a mature, slow,
you see Ridley Scott coming out talking shit?
Oh, yeah, Ridley Scott. I'm
such an asshole,
I'm
dude.
like, Ridley, you've clearly lost your mind.
Gosh.
Your movies are bad now.
So uncalled for.
Oh, yeah, Ridley Scott, yeah.
And then he was just, what else did he say?
It's not classy.
Then he doubled down and he was like...
he had an idea for a third
he
one,
was
but
like,
I didn't
no,
read it.
he was like, the script is mostly mine.
Yeah.
For 2049. He was like, yeah, it's mostly mine anyway.
I'm like, prove it.
God.
Yeah, whatever, Ridley Scott. Like,
Yeah, it upset me.
show some class.
Show some class. Like,
Whatever.
like, Villeneuve just made
stop
some
ruining
huge
it.
movie, massive movie, didn't do well box office, probably feeling down about it,
That's what I was sad about, is like, because it didn't do well, I'm afraid that people won't let beautiful measured sci-fi happen anymore.
I know. It's scary.
That's
why I was so hyped that year with Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Because China saved it.
Yeah.
Like, international box office, And it's like, we need more movies like that.
And we're going to get into Last Jedi, but, like, I think that we're going to see a similar thing with Last Jedi. Like, Last Jedi is an intelligent, mostly, and challenging film.
Yeah.
Which I think is why it's getting so much backlash, because it's a challenging movie, and it challenges your expectations. But the box office isn't nailing it overseas.
Yeah. Which is very interesting.
Which is very weird. I mean, it's still making money hand over fist, but like for a Star Wars movie,
It
it's
made
like,
$1 billion. Right?
it's only doing incredibly well.
It only made like
instead
a
of,
little over $1 billion.
Yeah,
What?
it's not shattering every record instantaneously. What? Anyway, we'll talk about Last Jedi in a minute, but yeah.
Wanted to get back to Get Out. We kind of brushed over.
Yes, Get Out. Warren Blythe agrees with Brittany. It works on so many levels. It's a great creepy suspense movie and a great social commentary. There's such a subtle and deep characterization, and it's funny, and it's full of metaphors. Every little plot hole I thought I'd discover led to a, wait, no, they covered that in this moment kind of moment. Extremely well thought through. I thought about the movie for days and was rewarded for the effort. It seems so simple and small at first, but eventually you realize it's a huge movie. Hopefully this changes horror movies from now on.
Yeah,
I 100% agree.
To commentate on such a big issue in a funny way, like somehow making the movie light, but also very, very dark.
Yeah.
Is why that movie just is, it's one of a kind, and it's getting so much recognition and hype.
And I think I've listened to Jordan Peele talk about the movie in like a few different venues. I recommend, there's a podcast called Q&A with dude's name that I'm not remembering in this moment. But Jordan Peele does an episode, and it's very good. He talks about the writing process and all that stuff. But yeah, he talks about how the audience experience of the movie is kind of taken into account. So like, he talks about how in black culture, it's like part of it to kind of like, you know, the like, oh, don't go in there, you know, like that kind of stuff where like his friend is the voice of the audience, you know? And I think that's
TSA.
Yeah, and I think that's why that I think that's why Get Out works so well, and that's a mark of amazing horror when the characters in the movie either express your concerns or do the thing that you would always say, well, if I was in this situation, I would do that, and then things still don't go their way.
Yep.
That is the mark of a great horror movie to me, because you're doing all the right things and it still isn't working.
Yeah.
And that is scary. That's
which is
terrifying.
why I didn't like Metalhead in season 4 of Black Mirror, because I felt like there were so many times where I was like, why are you doing that?
Right.
Why are you doing that?
Right.
Like, don't do that. Run. Like, there were so many times. Like, why does she make the call?
Right.
Why does she hunker down and like, go?
Yeah.
Never thought that in Get Out.
Car wouldn't start, you know? Real quick.
Like, when he keeps plugging in the phone, I thought that was good.
Yeah, he keeps trying to plug in the phone. Someone in the comments pointed out the kind of... I have to imagine this was intentional, but how he saves himself with cotton.
Yeah.
Which is, like, part of what...
How did he... I guess maybe... That's the only part where I question it, where I'm like, how did he get
the part that I question is, like... I'm like, dude, why'd you take the cotton out?
Yeah, keep it in.
Keep it in. I mean, I guess you want to be able to hear when you're...
True, you don't want anyone sneaking
around a house.
Totally.
So it's like a 6 of one, half dozen of the other. See? Every part of this movie that you're like, well, hang on a minute. And then you're like, well, hang on a minute. God, Get Out is good.
Yeah. Dude, when he stabs her.
Oh.
The mom.
Uh-huh.
What's her face? I love her. She's amazing.
Catherine Keener?
Yeah. Oh, she's amazing.
Dude, my favorite moment, huge
staring
spoiler.
at her.
Yeah. Huge spoiler, but like the look on the daughter's face when he's like choking her out at the end, where she's just like
smile,
like vindicated.
Yeah.
Like I knew I was right. Like it's a very like white, like you people kind of look. I'm just like, holy crap. That is
freaks me out.
Yeah, it's the most chilling moment of that movie. I'm just like, wow, you're bad.
Yep.
Wow.
Do we foresee more Get Out in the future? Do we foresee it? Because I look at so many movies before it that have hit gold, if you will. So many horror movies like Insidious and Saw and Conjuring that just crank them out.
I would prefer not, actually. I anxiously await Jordan Peele's further cinematic efforts.
Yeah.
But a Get Out sequel, I think, because Jordan Peele wrote this movie over such a long period of time.
Don't force it.
Don't force it. I mean, if he really has an amazing idea for a follow-up and they take the time with it, then I trust that it would be phenomenal. But like,
if it's someone else,
right? Like if the studio just if Blumhouse wants to just like crank out another Get Out, like I would pump the brakes. Yeah. Also, the problem that I foresee is because like kind of the like kind of shadowy aftermath of this movie is like, you know, this dude's gonna get in hot water with the cops.
There's like so many dead bodies.
An entire white family gets murdered.
Yeah.
And a black guy gets out. Like, society, you know, he escaped that little, you know, out of the frying pan into the fire. You know, like,
and then they hinted at some other bigger conspiracy with people like transferring bodies.
Oh yeah,
like they weren't the only people. Maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe.
So
it's just like like that society could have other cells and stuff. It's just, it's a very and like one of the like most successful moments of that is the moment when the cop car rolls up. Yeah. And he's just like, oh shit. And then her face, she's just like, yes, I got it. Like, no matter how, like they both know, and the audience knows that in society today, there's no way this is going his way.
No way.
And it's just like such a crushing moment.
Yep.
That's what I love about that film too, is like it puts,
God, he's the best.
I think it like codifies and exemplifies the black experience in a way that very smartly shows people who don't live that experience a little bit, like it helps you to empathize a little more.
Power with movies, baby.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, cinema can do that. It can, like Lady Bird. It can, like, I mean, Lady Bird made me sad for other reasons too, because it's like oh, this is the like growing up situation I'll never have, but like it lets you live it a little bit. And I love movies.
Yep.
Real quick, 19, The Waldo Moment, 18, Men Against Fire, 17, White Bear, 16, Metalhead, 15, Crocodile, 14,
Way
Playtest,
too low for Crocodile. Keep going, sorry.
13, Archangel, 12, Shut Up and Dance, 11, Hang the DJ, 10, National Anthem, 9, Nosedive, 8, Hated in the Nation, 7, White Christmas, 6, Black Museum, 5, USS Callister, 4, Be Right Back, 3, 15 Million Merits, 2, Entire History of You, and of course, 1, San Junipero.
Nice.
Crocodile, I might move up. I could move up.
I'm surprised 13 million merits is so high. Wow.
I think Crocodile, I'm moving it up.
Yeah, move it up.
I'm moving it up
Crocodile
after Shut Up
freaks
and
me
Dance.
out, dude. Crocodile freaks me the hell out.
Here's the deal
dude.
with Crocodile.
Like one of the best movie or one of the best interpretations of murder.
Yeah,
I've ever
it just
seen.
keeps going. It keeps
My
going.
goodness.
And the twist at the end is pretty good. But like it just oh man. Yeah, Crocodile's good. Whatever.
It's brutal.
Whatever.
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror. But yeah, Get Out is so good. I mean, like obviously we're not the experts on the black experience. But like that movie
I can try to empathize. That's
it is so well done.
Absolutely.
Carl Williams' favorite movie of the year, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. A great blend of drama and dark comedy, elevated by outstanding performances from Frances McDormand, Woody Harrelson, and Sam Rockwell. I loved the ending where the viewer is left wondering what will happen next.
Nice.
You saw this, right?
Nope.
Oh, you didn't?
Nope.
I'll talk about it for a brief moment. I love Martin McDonagh, sorry. I like In Bruges much more than this movie. I liked this movie a lot, but there were definite moments where I felt like I was reading the screenplay instead of watching the movie.
Yeah.
There's a scene where Frances is talking to a deer, and basically it's just like a metaphor of like getting her character's kind of nihilistic worldview and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I could see how this on the page would look really good. Mm-hmm. And Frances McDormand is crushing it. Like, she's an amazing actor, one of the best working today, I think.
No doubt.
But it still felt like I was reading the page, kind of. Mm-hmm. Which is sort of the style on that. And I think there were some comedic beats that didn't quite land, like the ex-husband's new girlfriend or whatever, stuff like that. But all in all, it's a very good movie, very challenging movie, dealing with really heavy stuff.
The premise is disturbing.
Someone pointed out that I love Sam Rockwell.
Love Sam Rockwell.
I've always loved Sam Rockwell.
One of my favorites of all time.
I really hope
Regular or menthols.
What is that in?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He's in it.
You want some cigarettes? Yeah, he's a Foot Clan guy. Foot Soldier guy. Foot Clan. But, I mean, I love him in Galaxy Quest.
Everything.
When he just yells, there's like, you have a last name. Do I? Do I? Oh, man, Galaxy Quest. Oh, one of the greats. But anyway, we should do a Hall of the... We should do like
movie greats.
Best... Top 100 films of all time list. Oh, that would take forever.
Yeah, that would take a while.
Man, I hope Sam Rockwell doesn't turn out to be a abuser.
Please no.
Give us Sam Rockwell.
His Golden Globe speech was the most jolly thing of all time.
I didn't see the Golden Globe. I didn't see his Golden Globe speech. I saw like a
real
bunch
jolly.
of the other ones. Was it?
He's like, I've been in a lot of indies. It's nice when people actually see one. It's like 3 Billboards is doing well.
Yeah. People pointed out that it was a little interesting that his character, who in the movie but prior to the events of the movie, like tortured a black man.
Whoa.
And then throws an innocent person out of a window. Like does all kinds of
he's like a bad
terrible.
dude.
He's the bad guy. He's like kind of the bad guy, and then he gets sort of a redemption arc. But like, it is interesting. But like, I would argue that. I think Martin McDonagh's movies are always kind of about broken, bad people.
Yeah. Psychopaths.
Right. And like I don't think that the movie is ever arguing that these people can be redeemed or are good or like will be good, or that the events that this man has done can ever be expunged. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think, and like also the redemption arc of 3 Billboards is not like not an actual real redemption arc. They're gonna maybe go do bad things. So it's like, I think Martin McDonagh is saying like, we're all kind of bad. We can try to do good things, but it'll never really make a difference.
Whoa.
So like the argument that he gets a redemption arc, I see, but I also think like it's a Martin McDonagh redemption arc where it's just like you can never get out of the hole in a Martin McDonagh universe. I think
Heavy.
I'm pretty sure his name is Martin McDonagh. Anyways, very intense subject matter. That movie.
I only really know the premise.
Yeah.
And it's like, whoa.
Yeah, it's bonkers. Tokyo Slim, the film that I thought most about and had the most impact on me both artistically and emotionally this year was the documentary I Am Not Your Negro by Raoul Peck. James Baldwin was such an amazing writer, and his voice and concerns are still extremely relevant and important in today's society. I haven't seen that. I've heard of it.
I don't think I saw like one documentary this year, honestly.
I feel like I watched a couple. I watched that Amanda whatever one.
Amanda Knox.
Yeah, Amanda Knox. I watched some Chef's Table. The show Abstract on Netflix is really good. It's about like various artists and their artistic endeavor or artistic kind of like process. I like that show a lot. Oh man, there's an episode of Chef's Table about the woman who started En Naka, which is like in LA. I know where it is. Like I've driven by it a lot.
En Naka? What is that?
En Naka. It's her name.
Oh, okay.
I think. Japanese restaurant.
Nice.
Good episode. Anyways, yeah, so I got to see that. I haven't seen that. Lee Rakoff, Mother. Blew my mind.
Yep.
It really got under my skin with the little nuances and metaphorical representations. Like many, I was shocked and anxious by the events that transpire, but in the end, I could do nothing but think about it, play it over in my mind. I desperately wanted to discuss it with people too. Luckily, I watched it with my partner, who is a Christian, and that conversation in itself expanded the movie's impact on me. I get why people can dislike it, but to say it was complete trash always leaves me thinking, did we even watch the same movie?
That movie really surprised me.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I saw it in an empty movie theater. That definitely helped. I was like me and my buddy.
The dream.
The dreams. Empty.
Yeah.
0 people.
If I had infinite money, I would buy out.
I know.
I would wait like till week 3 so I wouldn't like deprive too many people of like, you know, and I would buy every seat in every seat in the theater.
Yeah. Best way to watch a movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was one that definitely stayed with me throughout the year. On multiple levels, on the filmmaking process, the camera movements in that movie were insane.
The filmmaking in almost every aspect of this movie is top tier stuff. It's out of control.
And the story, like slowly figuring out what's happened. I was like, because I went in blind. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And then when that stuff starts falling into place, I was like, dude, this is a really cool interpretation of this. Oh my goodness.
For me,
very unique movie.
As the old joke goes, as a recovered Christian, I mean, because I knew everything that was happening. Once I figured it out, I'm like, oh, okay, I see what we're doing. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, wow, it's almost beat for beat, like what we're doing. The question it kind of left me with, which I don't know is a good thing or a bad thing, was just kind of like, why though? Like, why?
Well, I thought the very, very, very end was weird. Like the very last shot, like I didn't get it. Yeah, I'm not super religious. I don't have that much knowledge of it because like
you're talking about him like remaking everything.
Yeah, and then he like has some very sinister line, like smile, like ha ha ha, like, and I was like, whoa.
And that ending, it kind of muddies the narrative of environmentalism and the Christian narrative. Also, it takes away her agency entirely. Like if she's, like if you take the metaphor and it's like, okay, she's Earth and he's God, and like he's just gonna reset button every time the humans mess up Earth. Yeah. Then like, what is he trying to do? Like, either this movie is a huge indictment of Christianity and is saying that these views are destroying the planet and you're turning a blind eye to that, like to the destruction that you're doing, or it's just some kind of like weird nihilistic thing where it's like, and it's been a little while since I've seen the movie. I saw it when it came out, so like, you know, my memory isn't flawless on it, but like, or it's some kind of like nihilistic thing where it's just like, God will just reset button anyway, so nothing matters. And then it's kind of just like,
Aronofsky's super religious, right?
Is he?
Like, I mean, he did Noah before this.
But I heard Noah was also very environmentalist, more than
Okay.
religious. I never saw Noah because, but
Okay.
like, yeah. And I mean, like, the environmentalism in this is like pretty cut and dried.
Mm-hmm.
He has said about this that he wants people to take it however they want, you know.
Yeah.
But I think that it's a movie with three messages that kind of fight each other. There's kind of the feminist narrative, the environmentalist narrative, and then a theological narrative. And I'm not sure which one it's trying to do. And they all can't exactly coexist in the film that's extant here, you know?
Yeah.
Also, like, there comes a point where it's like, you get it. Like, the fact that no one is listening to her becomes very... I mean, I think it's intentionally very stressful.
Very.
But, like, to the point where you realize... It's like realizing you're in a bit, you know?
Yeah.
It's like pretty clearly... Like, pretty early on in the film, even before things go, like, 1,000% bonkers...
Yeah.
Which was amazing. Like, the last 30 minutes of this movie are just bonkers crazy because it's just like, okay, things are insane.
Yeah.
But, like, it's sort of like a suspension of disbelief thing or like a dramatic irony thing where there comes a point where they're ignoring her to such an extent that you realize, like, okay, we're in some kind of, like, extra normal, like, hyper fictionalized
Well, for the
situation.
longest time, man, like, because I went in blind. I didn't know what was going on. So it was like, I got Twilight Zone vibes.
Right.
For
Is
the
she
first
a ghost?
half.
Like, what's happening?
For the first half of this movie, I was like, oh, he's some writer.
Right,
He's
right,
some writer.
right.
Like,
Is she a character?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. So it was very weird. And then finally I was like, oh, okay. Like, it took me a while to get it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, for me, almost immediately, I was like, okay, so she's the house for some reason, or like tied to the house, you know. And then I was like, okay, so she and the house are Earth,
yeah.
like later, you know. But yeah, it's very immediately, we're like, okay, everything in this movie is a metaphor.
Yeah.
Like, none of these are people.
Yeah.
Cain and Abel, it's like, it's all so, like, not paint by numbers, but it's like very direct.
Yeah. But also in the way it's told was so different.
Yeah. The filmmaking
so
of this
cool.
movie is like super interesting.
Yeah. I love that. Just telling a classic tale in a unique way
Tales old as time.
is so cool.
But yeah, Mother is worth it because it's so bonkers.
Definitely worth it.
And, you know, Aronofsky
It's a legend.
is a talented filmmaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never saw Noah.
I never saw Noah
Never saw it.
either.
Gotta see
No
it.
interest.
I just heard it wasn't very good.
Yeah, I heard it was long and not good. All right, least favorite movie of the year.
Least favorite.
Yeah.
See, there's like least favorite where maybe I didn't enjoy it that much, but then there's also least favorite where I wanted it to be better than it was.
Yeah.
So there's two kind of least favorites.
Well, later we have disappointed you the most. So this is like what was the worst movie of this year?
I like so many things, and I don't go to the theater to see.
Right. Neither of us saw Emoji Movie.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be caught
Right.
in the theater of the Emoji Movie.
Right. I didn't even go to
I
a theater
avoid
that
bad
was
movies.
showing Emoji Movie for fear of accidentally seeing Emoji Movie.
Yeah. I mean, the worst movie of the year for me was Bright on Netflix, but I enjoyed it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I was like, this movie's bad,
Yeah.
but I'm into it.
But given that,
Yeah.
I'm having fun.
Yeah, and it was cool because it was the first time where like Netflix had a huge blockbuster that was
Yeah.
you could just watch immediately on Netflix, and I watched it the night it came out, so there
Right.
was like that kind of energy and hype with it, like, oh, this is actually kind of a cool
Right.
thing.
And
that
it
I'm
was before all the backlash or whatever.
before anything, before it was the night of, I was like, let me just watch this.
90 million, I think.
Yeah, 90
budget?
million. Yep.
Which is
sequel already
huge.
announced.
Yeah.
Max Landis out.
Yeah.
So
Because he's a creep.
So who knows what's going on, but definitely not a great movie, but
I haven't
had
seen
fun.
it.
I mean,
I see it?
I mean, I think it's worth a watch.
Yeah.
I think it's
I
definitely.
already subscribed to Netflix.
Do you like End of Watch? Did you ever see that one?
I
End
never
of
saw
Watch.
that. I never saw that one.
I mean, Suicide Squad is garbage, but
Yeah.
I love End of Watch. I love Training Day. I think David Ayer's.
Oh, I forgot that he did those too.
Yeah.
What happened?
David Ayer is cool. I like David Ayer a lot.
Yeah.
He's a good writer. He's a good director. He's pretty one note with his style.
And he's very weird.
Is he?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, the fact that he did Training Day and then Suicide Squad.
Well, he wrote
and
Training Day.
Oh, did he didn't direct it?
He no. He
Wait, who directed Training Day?
That Training Day is. Oh, I just had it.
Who did?
I just had it. Damn it.
Typing it out.
No, I know this. I'm so frustrated.
Someone listening is like, obviously.
I just had it on my brain.
Antoine
Fuqua.
Yeah.
Fuqua. Yeah.
All right, I don't feel bad about not remembering.
Yeah, Antoine Fuqua. And he did like Replacement Killers too, right?
Possibly. Oh, he did the Magnificent Seven remake.
I like Antoine Fuqua. Did he do Replacement Killers?
I'm not seeing it on here. Oh,
Okay.
this is producer. Let's look at director.
There it is. Hell yeah. Replacement Killers. Love it. Good movie.
Anyway,
Bright, worth a watch, I think, because it's on Netflix. Would I have enjoyed it if I went to the theater and made a day of it and spent $20 on a movie ticket? Probably not. But lying in my bed when it came out at 10 p.m. or whatever it was.
it's a no pants movie.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
If you're seeing that movie with no pants on, it's fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Yeah.
But
It's amazing, like, having pants on or not can really change your experience.
there's usually like one movie a year I don't like, and it's usually a popular one for some reason. I'm always like, there's always one game and one movie that everyone loves, and I'm like, I didn't really like that, but somehow 2017 I dodged that. I mean,
Alien Covenant was like a festering trash fire.
Alien Covenant.
A nightmarish hellscape.
I saw it in the IMAX though,
terrible
and like
filmmaking.
I kind of enjoyed it in the IMAX, but the more I thought about it, I didn't like it. But like the movie watching process, you know what? No, Alien Covenant's bad.
Alien Covenant is bad. It's like an insult.
It is. Why are you
is
touching the spores? Why are you touching those things?
Why you going to a planet without respirators on, without spacesuits on? You're professionals. I don't care if it has a breathable atmosphere. Microbes, viruses.
Yeah.
Even though viruses would probably not be adapted to function in a human body, still, the bacteria alone can destroy your body.
Why are you going into David's dungeon and looking into an egg
Looking into
sack?
a crazy egg sack.
What are you doing?
You were pointing a gun at him 30 seconds before this.
Oh, let me just follow you down the stairs.
I'm going to kill you. Oh, no, wait. I'm going to listen to you talk to me. Oh, God. Also, like, just not good, not fun, not entertaining.
The power of the IMAX. Yeah.
I'm mad. I'm angry.
I was saving that one. That was my most disappointing.
It's both.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cold Smith, least favorite film of the year was without a doubt The Snowman. Man, that should have been good. For shit's sake, it had Val Kilmer in it. I really like that.
That's funny.
comment. I've heard nothing but terrible things about The Snowman. I've heard like it's like a miraculous train wreck. Like some of the movie wasn't even done like being shot when it went out the door. And this is the director of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy and Let the Right One In.
Whoa.
Like, what happened?
Great movies.
Both of those are phenomenal movies. The original Let the Right One In, not Let Me In. Yeah. Or whatever the second one was called.
Let Me In.
Yeah. I never saw the remake.
No, me neither.
I saw the first one. I love that movie.
Love it. Top tier.
It's a fave.
Top tier horror
favorite
flick.
Yeah.
Emotions.
Yeah, I'd be interested in. I mean, I haven't really read into it too much, but I think there's a story there as to why the Snowman bungled so hard. Apparently, there's like overdub. They like overdubbed a bunch of Val Kilmer's lines and didn't even bother like matching the lips with the ADR. Like, it sounds like everything went wrong. It's fascinating.
The trailer was cool. I was like, oh, Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
Some serial killer movie. Sign
Mr.
me
Police, you could have saved her. Whatever.
Yeah. I was like, oh, Zodiac vibes. Let's go.
Yeah. Volkerbach says Alien Covenant. Ridley Scott appears to have lost it. His movies still look nice, but the scripts get worse and worse. Boy, this movie was a mess. It's almost like they actually listened to the feedback on Prometheus and made everything worse that people already hated about that movie. It's pretty true. It did seem like Prometheus, I think, like I have an impulse to go and try to re-edit Prometheus to make it better. Alien Covenant, there's no hope. Like, it's fundamentally trash.
I feel like one day the truth will be uncovered.
That
and Ridley Scott
has syphilis.
sabotaged the Alien franchise out of spite.
Out of spite against Neil Blomkamp.
Against James Cameron.
Yeah.
Against Sigourney Weaver.
Kind of salty, I think, that he lost, that they took it from him.
And remember, leading up to this, Ian, remember how many times I brought up the conflicting message from Ridley Scott himself, you know? The conflicting message of 3 years before it came out, 2 years, all the way leading up to it coming out, him talking about, like, no more aliens. We're done with aliens. Like, aliens have been done before. Like, and then the whole thing of, like, Game of Thrones, like, aliens were the original dragon. Like, we did it first.
Right.
Like, what are you talking about?
It's neither here nor there, Ridley. Yeah. Also, like...
He's like, it's been done to death. And then he makes Alien Covenant. So it's like, what are you telling me as a fan, as a moviegoer?
Well, not only that, but he said I could bang out one of these a year or whatever he said. Yeah. Like, he implied, he's like, I got as many of these as we need.
Yeah, he's like, I got 5 of these.
Yeah. And it's just like, well, clearly you don't give a damn.
Yeah. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
And neither do we, Ridley. We don't give a damn. But, like, the lighting in Prometheus was amazing.
Yeah,
beautiful movie.
Like Alien Covenant
didn't look as good.
Space looks good in the IMAX.
Yeah,
I mean it's something.
Also, and maybe this is my own background again, but like, it's the creator myth that he's dealing with. It feels like an old man's story. It's like Ridley's society has moved on from this. Like this is an early '80s thought experiment. Like we don't care about this anymore.
Yeah. Here's another thing. If low budget Runaways on Hulu can use practical effects on a dinosaur, why can't your aliens use practical effects?
Some of the practical effects, because some of the CG is pretty gnarly.
So when it moves, when it's the full shot of the dinosaur, it's CG.
Okay.
But when it's just the head,
it's
animatronic. Like, let's get those practical effects.
Yeah.
CG aliens.
Oh yeah, the CG aliens.
I'm out. I'm not intimidated. I'm not scared.
Yeah, they're not scary. They're not scary.
Like, it's so easy.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's not easy.
It's not easy, but the idea is easy. All you need to do, slow pan up.
Yeah.
Dude in a suit.
Really thin guy in a suit.
Dripping goo with a slow tongue.
Yeah. There you go.
There's your storyboard.
Yeah.
There it is.
Huber just wrote the next Alien movie, guys.
Come on.
Deal with it.
It's not easy.
No, but anyway, what
it's movie? Easy. I feel like it's easy for Ridley Scott though, which is frustrating.
It used
to be. He's
Like
a legendary filmmaker, you know.
Right.
And the way he talks about it and the way he cranks movies out seemingly every year.
Yeah.
I expect maybe a little more from him.
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, I have not seen yet All the Money in the World. Mm-hmm. And big props for...
Martian was amazing.
I like Martian a lot.
And that's recent.
Yeah.
You know,
and
so
also like big props for recasting Kevin Spacey's role with Christopher Plummer and just like doing it.
Well,
Christopher Plummer, is that who it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Although apparently there's some kind of like weird
controversy.
Stuff,
I heard
that I just heard about last night.
But I heard maybe he didn't know because I know she didn't. Michelle Williams didn't know, and I think he didn't know, unless he straight up stone cold lied in the interview.
Well, Mark Wahlberg may have lied because he said like he didn't get paid either. It's very weird.
Yeah.
The controversy that we're talking about is that everyone thought only Christopher Plummer got paid for the reshoots because. Oh, it's just part of the movie. Like, you have to go do reshoots.
Yeah.
But now, apparently, like, maybe Mark Wahlberg got, like, $1 million or $1.5 million, and then Michelle Williams got $1,000.
Yeah. Who knows?
Because she was just like, sure, I'll do it, and, like, got paid the very minimum of, like, day rate, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so shady dealings, perhaps. Which is very weird.
Yeah.
Also, like, pay inequality, like, that's a real thing, especially in this situation. Like, $1.5 million versus 1,000? Like, whoo!
Because I heard, like, her side of it before this was like, was like, yeah, the reshoots, like, I'm so excited. Like,
Right.
she was like, I'll give all my money back if you need it. That's how awesome she was. She was like,
Well,
yeah, because the money you already paid me for the movie, I'll give it all back if you need it to do reshoots.
Because she believed in the reasons for the reshoots. Yeah, like she was supportive of that.
Yeah.
And,
then Mark Wahlberg is like, oh, another paycheck? Let's go.
It's a shame. If this is all true, it's a real shame. Is it weird to say Mark Wahlberg, like, if there was a controversy around him, I wouldn't really be surprised? Is that
there
bad?
is a lot of
bad to
controversy
say?
about, like, back in the day, dude, Mark Wahlberg.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he, like,
He went to, like,
harassing people?
jail, I think, back in the day.
Oh, really?
He, like, assaulted someone.
Oh, jeez.
And he, like, tried to get it. There's the whole big thing.
Oh,
he tried
man.
to get it off his record. He's like, I'm a new person now. Because he wanted to, like, open a business, but he had a felony charge back in the day. And the judge denied. There's a lot of stuff, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are all people bad, Huber?
I like to quote
Are all human
Bloodline.
beings bad?
I like to quote Bloodline in this situation. Very good show on Netflix. We're not bad people, but we did a bad thing.
There are some bad people, though. Harvey Weinstein's a bad person.
There's a lot of bad people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good people. There's a lot of bad people.
There are a few good people and a lot of bad people, and I think maybe a lot of just normal people. Oh my God. Anyway, what surprised you? What movie surprised you the most of 2017?
Oh, you're gonna hate me, Ian.
What?
You're gonna hate my guts.
I don't think I could ever hate your guts.
Justice League.
Justice League surprised me. Surprised you in what way?
It was bad. It wasn't terrible. That's what surprised.
I don't hate you. I felt the same.
I enjoyed my time with Justice League.
Right.
I didn't love it, but I came out of the theater pretty pumped up. I was like, that was fun. I actually had fun. Good stuff.
I didn't absolutely despise it.
Yeah.
So it
20 times better than Batman vs Superman.
Oh yeah. And it's still like a 3 out of 100.
Justice League, yeah, what would I score it? Again, it's that it's me fully embracing the spectacle of the movie theaters in 2017, doubling down on that.
Right.
So I enjoyed all that. I'd give it like 5, maybe 5 or 6.
Out
Maybe
of
a
10?
6. Yeah, I'd give it like a 5 or 6.
Huh.
Yeah, I had fun.
Okay.
I had fun with it.
I'd give it like a 3 or 4.
Batman
out of
vs
10?
Superman, I would give a 2.
Yeah, that's a 1.
Because I rewatched it even. I was like, I'm going to give it another shot.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Way worse.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Way worse.
Oh yeah. Because there's like nothing to even do.
Holy moly. I even watched the extended R-rated cut.
Yeah. That's the only one I've seen.
Holy moly.
It's bad. Cold Smith, the film that surprised me the most was Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I wasn't expecting Ryan to shake up the whole formula so much, but by God, I'm glad he did. The future of Star Wars is unpredictable for the first time since Return of the Jedi landed. All right, so
awesome. I know I was sad you weren't at the spoiler mode.
I'm still sad I wasn't in the spoiler mode because I had things to say. I still have things to say, but a lot of comments about Last Jedi in our patron discussion.
Have you publicly spoken about it?
I have not publicly spoken about what I thought about this movie.
Take the floor and tell us about Last Jedi.
All right, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Nice. Loved it.
I think the casino side plot was way too long and kind of silly, kind of kids movie, pretty stupid.
Just Finn in general.
Yeah,
basically.
Finn's character in this movie is kind of whatever.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I agree.
And the Finn Rose thing, it's like whatever, but like if we're not going to get Finn Poe, because now apparently Poe is just in love with BB-8, which I'm totally there for too. Like I ship that. But I don't want Rey and Finn just because it's like obvious.
Yeah, I don't want Rey and Finn.
Like I'd be fine with them getting together, but it's like okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I hope that no one ends up with anyone, really. Like there's just no time for that.
Yeah.
And everyone you love is dead. But no, I think this movie is very good and challenging is how I would describe it, because Rian Johnson took the formula and shook it up because it needed to be shook up. Like you have to burn down the temple. Mm-hmm. There are a few straight up Zen parables in this. There's a Zen parable where a Zen master is dying and he's trying to entrust his star pupil with this book of knowledge, like his whole life's work. of like all of his writings, and it's kind of a concept of Zen Buddhism not to have attachments to stuff like that, and so the master is saying to his pupil, because he's dying, the master is dying, he's like, take this book of my teachings, I want you to have it, it's my life's work, it's everything I worked for, and the pupil's just like, you better not, like, keep it yourself, it's fine, and the master's like, please take it, I give it to you, please, and the pupil's like, are you sure? And the master's like, yeah, and the pupil's like, okay. And he just takes it and throws it in the fire. And then the master's just like, what are you doing? And then the pupil goes, what are you saying? And like that is The Last Jedi. Like the camp of people who are like, that's not my Luke. Yes, it is. Like, that's been Luke the whole time. Luke's always been a whiny failure. He's not the hero. Leia has always been the hero. She's always been the driving force. She never quits. Every man in the Star Wars universe quits. And, like, I don't think that this film is saying men are bad. I don't think it's saying that, it's not like some kind of anti-MRA movie. I don't think they care. That's not a factor in it. But, like, it is the fact of the matter that Luke never learned the lesson that failure is okay. That you don't have to be this perfect ideal. Luke never realized that the Jedi teachings are just teachings, and that it's important to take the lesson. Like, back in the acting school, back in the theater school, we learned one of my favorite lessons that we ever learned in theater was learn it, know it, and then forget it. Like, learn the rules. This is where, like, Kyle and I diverge on, like, comedy and stuff. It's like, you learn the rules so that you can forget them. Learn them, embody them, know them, and then drop them.
Yeah.
Because it's a cage. Rules are a cage. This mythos, the Jedi legacy, these teachings, these books, they're a prison. And
Yoda, bro.
Yeah, and only by learning that they're not, like, it's all Zen. The Jedi mythos is Zen. Like, if you're adhering to these rules, you're missing the point. And if you're trying to be this hero, you're missing the point. And if you're worrying about how, if we keep the Jedi going, then the Sith will keep being a thing, and it's like, no, you're missing the point. The Force is going to balance itself out. That's fine. That's going to happen. You're just here to help life be better for people. And I really like what they did with Luke because it is true to his previous character, in my eyes. Because Luke is a hero, obviously. Like, Luke is great. And what I've always liked about Luke is that he's kind of stubborn and then he kind of misses the point because that's like us. That's us. Mm-hmm. Like, we're not all perfect. We're not all seeing our own faults, we don't,
Empire when he, like, goes back.
Right. Like, when he goes back to save his friends, like, yeah, that's the wrong thing to do, kind of, but it's also the only thing to do. Mm-hmm. And I think Yoda wanted him to do that because it's part of the lesson. And, like, Yoda coming back in this movie and saying, dude, this is the lesson you never got. That failure is okay. Failure is the best teacher. Failure is the lesson.
Yeah. Failure
is success. And, like, I like the way, because someone on Twitter was saying, like, when Luke faced Vader, his lightsaber ignited kind of by impulse, because it's like his emotional, just his drive is like, like to go for it. But then he controls that and he makes the good choice and he says, no, I'm willing to lay myself down because I believe you can be changed. And they compared it to Rashomon in this movie, where it's like we get the three versions of the Luke, Ben, Solo story, where it's like, okay, Luke tells one version of it that's a soft version. Ben tells his version that's a really harsh version, which we're all like, Luke would never do that. And it's true, Luke would never do that. And then we get the real version of the third version, where it's like, okay, yeah, I had a moment of weakness. It was an emotional outburst, just like with Vader when my lightsaber flicked on, And then immediately he made the other choice. He wants to help this person, even though he's terrified. Mm-hmm. But then it all just went to hell. And then, yeah, Luke felt super guilty. And, like, I think that Luke then closing himself off from the Force is him he thinks he's being a hero in that regard because he thinks it's his fault. He thinks he's a corrupting influence. He thinks he's enabling people like dark side users to come into power, and like by shutting himself off, he thinks he's doing the right thing. But then in the end, I loved that. Yeah, I loved that at the end, like the projection thing that he does, and like he never actually even swings at him. He just evades, you know.
So sick.
And it's such a stall tactic, but it's like it's still pacifism. It's him learning that failure is an option. It's him learning that the important thing is buying time for his friends and still embracing the power of the myth of Luke Skywalker. I also really like that he didn't know that there was a map to him, because in 7 I was like, why the hell would Luke go off and then hide a little weird MacGuffin map for himself? Because that's stupid. Also, I think that a lot of things that people don't like about Luke in this movie are actually problems that were created in 7. Like,
that's what I brought up.
This is how, like, this is like the best way to handle the mess that 7 left for Luke. Yeah. Like, Luke pissed off and went to a mountain in 7, not 8.
Yeah.
Like, 8 had to deal with that. Mm-hmm. And, and so moving on from Luke, I think that Luke was really good in this. Also, I love the line that Yoda says, because Yoda, classic troll Yoda.
Oh yeah.
When he says, everything that's in the temple, Rey already has. He's being literal too. Yeah. She has the books already on the Millennium Falcon. So funny. But also, like, that's what I love about Rey. Like, a lot of people criticize Rey for being like a Mary Sue or whatever, but the Force is balancing itself out. Rey she's not plagued with doubt in the same way that Luke and Ben Solo are, Kylo Ren are, because she's just kind of happy to be there. Like, she's just jazzed to be a part of things. And the fact that her parents are nobodies is, I think, one of the strongest parts of this film, because it's saying this is for everyone. Mm-hmm. Anyone could be this hero. Yeah. You don't have to be a Skywalker. You don't have to be this bloodline. Mm-hmm. Midichlorians aren't a thing. Yeah. Like, you can just be this nobody.
Love that.
And and I think that's super powerful. Also, like, clearly, because the lightsaber gets broken, God, I hope she makes a bow staff lightsaber in the next one.
Yes, please.
Because it's going to be so cool.
Yep.
Like,
Need
very,
it.
very...
Give me that bow staff.
Very, what's his name?
Darth Maul.
Yeah, very Darth Maul. Like, it's going to be awesome. Anyway, I think she's great. Rey is cool. She's very... I like that she's angry, and I love that she just immediately goes to the dark side, which terrifies Luke, but then she just comes out of it. She's just like...
she's like, oh, she just didn't know.
Right.
She had no idea, really.
And that's what's great, because she's untempered by all the mythos and unhampered by it.
He freaks out. I love it. He freaks out, and then she's just like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, she's like, all right. Like, that's why she's a great hero, is because she's just kind of doing things that she thinks feel right.
Yeah.
And she's not corrupted by it. And I love that. And I think if there is a lesson, it's like Luke is kind of right when he says the Jedi need to end, but what he's really saying is, like, all these teachings need to end. Like, you just need a good moral center. You just need to be a good person, and that's fine. Like, that's what's going to happen. And, like, she is this good person, and that's what makes her a hero, is that she's not going to be corrupted because she knows what is right herself without having to be taught what's right. And because when you're in a cage, when you're within these rules systems, when you're in these bars, the only thing for them to do is break. Like, they're not going to bend, they're going to break. And that's what happened with Anakin Skywalker. Luke danced with that. That's what happened with Kylo. You know, he tried to get back out, but he's in this box. And his whole worldview is in this binary dichotomy where it has to be all light or all dark. And, like, with Snoke, which I love him killing Snoke. The scene where he and Rey fight together is amazing. And also, like, this move, like, force grabbing the thing and then just going,
unreal,
like, getting the guy behind him, so awesome. Like, that lightsaber battle was rock solid.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. And, like, Snoke is just some, like, dumb bad guy, whatever. He, like, literally doesn't even matter, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
But, like, because of those systems, Kylo's trapped in that cycle. And I think that that's the story being told here, is that the black-white good, bad Jedi Sith cycle is breaking, and that's what we need. That's the point. Like, that's what you need.
That
and
kid at the end.
Yeah. Like,
picking up that broom.
Yeah. And like, I love how he like force pulls it to
Yeah.
himself just a little bit. Like, he's just got these
So we're going to get like Jedi armies in the next...
I think we're getting like an awakening.
Yeah.
The Force is still awakening, you know?
Yeah.
But I think what'll be cool is it'll be... What I hope doesn't happen is I hope she doesn't like read the books and then like adhere to them strictly, you know? I hope she stays in this like gray Force kind of zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, we need to talk about Laura Dern and Poe. And because I think that the Poe thing lends into the... this movie is like being all like anti men or whatever, and like I don't think that's the intended narrative there. I think that it's being anti like Flyboy, like, and I think that it's cool to challenge your heroes. I think that good heroes can withstand scrutiny. I think that Star Wars up until now has been a parable. It's been like a fairy tale, and it still is to a large extent. But now we're looking at our heroes with a scrutinizing eye. Like, we're looking at Poe and saying, okay, maybe these ideas, maybe just running in guns blazing doesn't always work. Maybe disobeying your superiors doesn't always work. Maybe she's holding something close to the chest because she needs to. I love that. While I think the casino thing is a kind of a failed side story, I do love that that mission fails. It doesn't work.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, that's great.
Benicio
showing up and training. Yeah. Well, and also like I think they kind of botched it, but I think the intention for Benicio's character was to show Finn, like, because Finn always tries to run. Mm-hmm. So it's like, this is what happens when you don't choose a side. You become this man. And Finn finally says, no, I don't want that. I want to be a hero and sacrifice myself, which I actually liked that beat. Yeah. I would have believed it if he went in all the way.
Yeah, I was like, is this happening right now?
Yeah, I was like, whoa, dude, okay.
That would have been great.
I think it probably would have been stronger if he had just sacrificed himself and saved them that way. But, you know, and I heard a lot of people complain that this movie was too dark, and I'm like, it's the second of a trilogy. It's gonna be the darkest one.
The night is
always darkest before the dawn. Like,
before the dawn.
Act 2 is always the one where everything sucks. Like, that's how stories go. But like, I thought it was cool that we lost so much of the rebellion in a way that actually felt like it mattered. Mm-hmm. Like, you felt the hits. Like, when they started...
the first scene is like my favorite scene.
Which one?
The Dreadnought.
Oh,
when
yeah.
The bombers.
Yeah,
and the bombers are going down.
Yeah.
I don't know who these people are, but I'm emotionally invested in them.
That whole fight scene was great. And like, at the end when all the transport ships are getting picked off one by one, you're just like, holy crap.
Yeah.
It is kind of a shame that, I mean, obviously it's a tragedy that Carrie Fisher died, because I truly believe that this entire 6-movie arc from 4 till 9 is kind of Leia's story. And I think that 9, I think what the plan was to focus mostly on Leia, and I think it narratively needed to, because she's the only consistent force that's been fighting since movie 4. Like, before the 4th film, she's been a consistent force for good in this universe, and never tiring, never stopping. It's been her story, but it's been told from the background, you know? Like, she's been the driving force. They say it's like the droids that tie everything together, but her message in the droids is one of the main things tying it all together.
Chills, man.
I know.
And just thinking of like the episode 9, if like, obviously there'd be something with her and Kylo, clearly, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Just like that.
That scene where he didn't blow up the ship, like, Kylo is a very nuanced,
good.
like,
So
Kylo, them not being afraid of making Kylo kind of a mincing child is interesting to me, because it makes him kind of more relatable.
Oh, it made Force Awakens 100 times better.
He's a teenager.
One look, when he looked at, and Luke is standing over him, that one look he gave made Force Awakens for me.
You mean Jedi? Last Jedi?
No, Force Awakens, like retroactively.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it makes more, like his character in Force Awakens now makes so much more sense just because of what we know from The Last Jedi now.
And like, J.J. Abrams loves his mystery box, and like, it's almost not fair to Rian Johnson, because like 7 just set up all these mysteries, and like, that's kind of easy comparatively.
Yeah.
Rian Johnson had to like take all those, deal with them, and then move it in a direction where the story can actually continue and things can actually happen.
Do you think Abrams will bring Phasma back?
Oh, God.
And Snoke back?
I hope not.
Could easily.
I hope not.
I hope not.
I mean, what I want to see in 9 is I want to see Kylo as the leader of the bad boys, and then just
sounds like a band,
right?
Kylo and the
Kylo
Bad
and
Boys.
the Bad Boys. The Knights of Ren, but like, and then just a scrappy band of rebels trying their best, like against this insane force.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what it's all about. That's when it's strong. And now it like literally is the rebellion is like 26 people.
Yeah.
And that's bonkers. And I love that. But like, what I was saying is it's obviously tragedy that Carrie Fisher died, but like narratively also hindsight is 2020. Like they didn't know that she was going to die because they'd already finished filming, but had Leia been Laura Dern instead, it would have been a crazy impact. Like to have Poe butting heads with Leia, to have Leia make that sacrifice, it would have been pretty intense. Yeah. But hindsight's 2020. They couldn't just redo all that.
Totally.
But I loved Laura Dern's character because it was an interesting dichotomy, and like I liked the fact that she can look however she wants and still be this badass admiral. And like
Loved her hair.
Yeah, her hair was cool. When she light speeded through those ships, which I think she went into hyperspace and then immediately came out and just like bulleted through all the ships, Because I think in Star Wars, correct me if I'm whatever, but like I don't know if I'm right or wrong in Star Wars, but like I don't know if you can phase through matter if you're in hyperspace or not. Like I don't know if you hit a planet if you die. But that shot where it just goes silent and looks amazing. Beautiful. I'm like, it's almost too beautiful for Star Wars.
It was. Like everyone that worked on Blade Runner was like,
oh, okay. But I mean, long story short, I've been talking about this forever, but like, long story short, I think it was a challenging movie, and it's pushing back against a lot of people's long-held feelings on Star Wars, and I think that there's no way to make a Star Wars movie that pleases everybody.
Yeah.
I like when the system is shaken up. I like it when things are torn down and burned
Resident
down.
Evil 4.
Yeah. Like I like it when, and yeah, when it works, and when it doesn't, it doesn't. But like, obviously this is not a perfect movie. And Star Wars movies are in the unenviable position of having to be perfectly great and fantastic in every way while also being lowest common denominator so it pleases everyone. And like, that's literally impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
I mean, who does that really well?
Who?
James Cameron.
Oh yeah. He largely does.
Avatar.
I mean, Avatar is not a great story, but it's fine.
I like it.
It's just Pocahontas.
I like it.
That's what I was actually building up to.
Avatar.
That's what I was building up to. I like it. Like, it's Star Wars.
Yeah,
like,
it was amazing.
You go in,
it's
you watch
so good.
it, and then you go home.
10 out of 10.
Right.
Yeah,
but
it's actually pretty nice, though, because I feel like right when this movie came out, there was insane levels of backlash, but now people have like seen it again and let their emotions kind of settle. I think people are coming around to it more.
One of my best friends from
the sentiment is getting way better than it was a month ago.
One of my best friends that I've known my entire life, who Luke was like a huge hero for him.
Yeah.
He hated this movie so vehemently after seeing it the first time. He said, like, if I saw Rian Johnson, I would spit in his face,
Whoa.
And like, and I was like, wow, that's extreme. But like, we were talking about it, and like his points were, he felt like the movie was telling him as a straight white man that he was bad and that he was wrong and that he was this and that. And I was like, okay, that's a very interesting read, because I mean, that wasn't what I was reading into this, but like I could see people reading that. But then we were talking about it, and then he saw it again, and then he just texted me and he was like, saw it again, loved it.
There it is.
And it's like, I think it is a movie like that where you have to get over your immediate like whiplash, and then
good movie.
Yeah, great movie. And then you can see it again on its own terms, and like, yeah, it's act 2 of a trilogy. And like, that's hard. And I think Rian Johnson did an amazing job with it, even though the casino thing was whatever. But having the horses come through and like trample rich people was pretty great.
Would have loved pod racers.
Yeah, when they said, oh, you know what that is, like coming over the thing, I was like, oh my god, is it pod racing?
Pod
like,
racers.
Oh my god.
The next movie,
so funny,
dude. The next Star Wars story should be like one of the spin-offs should be just straight up Fast and the Furious with pod racers. Let's go.
Yeah. Like
pulling heists, racing
with the entire cast of Fast and the Furious.
Vin Diesel pod racer.
Anyways, I just pissed a lot of people off probably, but you can't talk about Star Wars without pissing people off.
Ruffling some feathers.
I don't care. I thought it was fine. Like I thought Rogue One was fine. Like, yeah, it's not a great movie, but like you go in, you watch it, and then you stop watching it and you go home.
Rogue One is so great. It's a beautiful
like
movie.
The main argument against Rogue One is like I didn't care about any of the characters. It's like, yeah.
Dude, Jyn Erso,
it was fun.
Oh my gosh, she's amazing.
Yeah, she's badass. Anyway, but yes, those are my thoughts on Star Wars.
Star Wars. Yeah, we missed you on the.
And the line about, because I know Jones had a thing about this. The line where he like licks the thing and says salt, and like everyone's like, why does he say that? It's to explain why no one is cold. It's not snow. It looks like snow.
Yeah.
And B, just because it's kind of cool to have a salt planet.
Exactly. Ian, did you laugh when Finn said "rebel scum" to Phasma?
No.
Damn.
Was that supposed to be funny?
I laughed. I loved it. She was like, "You'll always be scum."
Rebel scum.
Rebel scum.
Well, that's him deciding.
Like, yeah.
That's him picking a side. I think the whole Phasma storyline was botched. But like, whatever. Finn is a weaker part of the movies, I think, which is a shame.
He'll be back.
I really like Finn.
He'll be back.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. In the next movie, they're gonna all kick ass. It's gonna be great. Yep. It's just gonna be scrappy loners trying to fight this big machine, and like
some ass kicking.
That's what it's about.
Yep.
Oh, what if they lose?
Could happen.
I think they'll win.
Yeah.
Anyway,
they'll win.
Silent Consonant,
but at great cost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I am worried that JJ is directing the next one. I would actually prefer to see Ryan do the next one again.
Me too.
Because I think it would be more serious and more like adult. But JJ's
he's good.
He's a crowd pleaser.
He's good.
I just hope that JJ doesn't just start filling with pointless mysteries.
Yeah, the future, like episode 10, is that even a thing? Do we know?
I think that 9 is the end of this trilogy.
Okay.
Ryan Johnson, I hope, still gets to do his like other trilogy, but I don't think that's...
What if that trilogy they're trolling and it's just 10, 11, 12?
10, 11, 12? That would be awesome. But yeah, I think it's like a Knights of the Old Republic kind of deal, which is I'm kind of like... my thing is like, if it's Star Wars, I'll see it and I'll have fun. Like, I'm just gonna have fun. I'm not gonna overthink it.
Have fun.
I'm not gonna yell at it.
It's the name of the game.
Right.
That's why people go to
just
the
have
cinema.
Fun. Yeah.
Have some fun.
Like, this isn't 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. Like, you're
fun.
not scrutinizing it.
Not fun.
This isn't a Coen Brothers like art mode movie. You know, it's not No Country for Old Men where you're like, this is trying to achieve cinematic greatness. You know, like. Star Wars is a money-making machine that's meant to entertain. That's what it is. It's entertainment.
Are you not entertained?
And I was. I was entertained. Silent Consonant.
Yeah, it's Ridley Scott, man. He's the theme of today. Is Ridley Scott.
Yeah. What about him?
Gladiator.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good one.
Silent Consonant, movie that surprised him, he would have to say Logan. It's been a long time since I've walked into a Fox X-Men movie with confidence, and this movie was no different. I hoped for greatness, but was nervous even before it started. I cried twice watching Logan. I cried watching a Fox X-Men movie. That's a sentence I never thought I'd say.
Yeah. I'll never forget coming out of Logan, feeling so empty inside.
Yeah.
And it was so strange. It was the strangest feeling coming out of a superhero movie, feeling so down.
Yeah.
I was so down, you know?
Yeah.
I come out of an X-Men movie or a Marvel movie, pumped up, ready to go, you know? Ready to like get in my car, peel out of the parking lot, pumped up.
Yeah.
Come out of Logan, just oh my god.
I'm like wired backwards, so Logan I left feeling pumped up because I was like, yeah, all right, you know, like yeah, gritty, realism. Like, movies that make me, like, depressed for days are, like, Harry Potter movies. Because it's, like, those are so whimsical and beautiful and fun that I just want to be there. I want to go to there. So I get, like, existentially depressed, you know? Whereas Logan, I'm just like, this This I feel seen. You know?
Logan's amazing.
Logan is wonderful.
Black and white cut. I watched.
Is there a black and white cut
on the Blu-ray?
Official?
Yeah.
Ooh,
the
that
noir,
sounds
right?
cool.
Logan Noir.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I saw Blade Runner black and white would be really not probably great, but I saw Mad Max Fury Road in theaters black and white.
Mid mix.
Gasoline.
Or that? What's new with that franchise? Is it coming back?
Yeah, they're making another one. I think.
Are they?
I think he's making another one.
All right, I hope
He
so.
had an idea for another one. I think he's working on another one.
Furiosa.
Your time.
Take your time.
Take your time.
Just as long as Furiosa reveals herself.
I got all worked up talking about Star Wars.
I'll be excited.
Take my jacket off. Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, it would kind of be weird if she was in it because it's
No way.
it's kind of just Mad Max.
Yeah, but he'll make a pit stop at that. Where is it?
The Citadel.
The Citadel.
Yeah.
She'll be like the leader of it.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
He'll have to go and get some gasoline or something.
Yeah,
He'll need some supplies.
Get some Aqua Cola.
And she'll be like, "What have you gotten into, Max?" He's like, "I need you."
And he'll say, "I don't remember."
And they'll team up.
Yeah. Oh, the dream. Anyway, I gotta watch Logan in black and white. Logan is very cool. Logan again is a movie that's not afraid to take beloved characters and take them in a dark, sad, and kind of realistic way. Like the fact that Professor X has like brain degradation is like horrifying.
Very. I'm glad. I came in today. Remember on my way here, I thought of something Marvel could do, something really cool. I'm glad we brought up Logan.
Okay.
I'm driving to film this podcast, and I'm thinking about Marvel, thinking about the movies we watched this year, thinking about Hugh Jackman, thinking about Logan, thinking about how he said he's done with Wolverine.
Yeah.
And I thought in my head, there's got to be a way. There's got to be a way for Mark Ruffalo and Hugh Jackman to team up as Hulk and Wolverine. And the light bulb popped in my brain. One-shots. Marvel's one-shots. There hasn't been one since Iron Man 3. They used to make the short films that filled in little gaps. There's a few of them. There's one with Agent Carter. There's one with Ben Kingsley from Iron Man 3. There's one where they find Thor's hammer. I think that was the first one.
The Thor roommate movies, do those count? Those two little short comedy films?
I don't think those are official like Marvel one-shots, but yeah, pretty much like something like that, right? A one-shot where Hulk and Wolverine just team up to team up.
Yeah.
Just give us what we want.
And he throws him.
And he throws him.
Yeah.
Like a missile.
Yeah. Claws out.
How perfect would that be? Because then you don't need to step on the toes of the Infinity War and all that, the upcoming events.
Well,
you can fit it anywhere you want in the you can go prequel, you can do whatever the hell you want, because Incredible Hulk, Ed Norton, is like beginning of the timeline.
Yeah.
You know, and he's already Hulk at that point.
Yeah.
So you can you can prequel before it all.
Huber, would you take Weapon 23, the girl, the young girl from Logan, in the future,
put her in Avengers?
Put her in Infinity War?
100%.
Because now Marvel is getting Fox, all that.
I would love it. I'm just
that would be an amazing shakeup.
I'm like emotionally.
They got that into Infinity War already.
It'd be insane.
That'd be like, what? How did you do that so fast?
I feel like there's a bromance ready to be had between Mark Ruffalo and Hugh Jackman. Like putting them together, I just feel like would be magical. It just fits so perfectly. And he even talked about it in the past couple years ago. Hugh Jackman.
Oh,
he was like, oh yeah, he's said it'd be really fun to go toe to toe with the green guy.
Yeah.
He's like, I love Hulk, what they're doing over there with Marvel. He's like, it'd be really, really cool. Yeah. He's like, he's like, it wouldn't really be really fun to me because I'd get beat up so hard.
Yeah. Dude, they could do a pre-Thor Ragnarok thing where they meet up in the Coliseum and fight each other.
Just give me a way to have them together. I need it.
Yeah, like a 15-minute just like fight between them.
Because they think
he dies or something. He like rips him in half, and everyone's like, yeah. And then it cuts to Logan just being like, oh god.
Yeah. Because those shorts are like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it'd be ridiculously expensive and probably wouldn't make any money, but it'd be awesome.
Throw it on as a short.
Exactly.
They should start doing Pixar shorts in front of Marvel movies.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Joseph Caruso, easily the best movie that came out in 2017 that I got to see was Get Out, and it was also the most surprising. Even after hearing all the hype, I was skeptical about the quality of the film from Jordan Peele and the handling of the advertised subject matter in a horror format, but I was blown away. It's probably one of my favorite films ever. He goes on, but we've already basically said all the things that he talks about.
Yeah.
Samuel Cardwell, Thor Ragnarok, not just for the relentless laughs, but also for the finale. It managed to do what no other Marvel movie has done by actually making me believe in the peril of the big finish. I agree with that. I thought that Thor Ragnarok, I really liked Thor Ragnarok a lot, and it surprised me, I think, a lot. And it was funny. It was a straight up comedy. Like, there were parts of that movie where I was looking around at my friends in the theater, and I was like, "What is this movie?" Like when in the beginning Loki is pretending to be Odin, and then Thor shows up and he just goes, "Shit, shit."
Oh shit, he's here.
What is this movie?
Yeah.
Like, I love Taika Waititi. I think that he's a comedic genius, and I really loved Thor Ragnarok. Like,
Loved Thor Ragnarok.
I thought it was so fun, and that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun.
Was a
Kate
badass.
Blanchett is amazing.
Tessa
I love
Thompson
Kate Blanchett.
was a badass.
Oh God, she's so cool.
Like everything.
Valkyrie.
Thor was the coolest he's ever been.
Yeah.
Like, he's so heroic now, which I love.
Yeah.
I think looking back, the arc of Thor is really strong.
I've never seen any other Thor movie.
So that's the thing, is like the Thor 1 and 2 to me are okay movies, but now Thor Ragnarok and with Avengers and everything, I really feel like he has developed as a character now, fully, and I think that's really awesome. Like, going into Avengers Infinity War, going up against Thanos and knowing how strong Thor is, like, we need him, you know?
Yeah.
There was like a really subtle line in Avengers 2 where they really like hyped up how strong Thor is, where they're all fighting at the end and Ultron is like, he's like, "Thor, you're so annoying," basically. He's like, "I gotta get you," you know? I forget exactly what he says.
Who says that?
Ultron.
Oh.
He's like, I need to stop you right now. He basically is like, "Thor, dude, get out of here. You're too strong. You're annoying. I gotta get you know?" So.
Well, I mean, he's straight up a god.
Exactly.
He's
and
magic.
That's why it's so cool. It's because, like, Iron Man, you could stop, you know, and like Black Widow and Hawkeye, like, they're just normal
people,
humans.
yeah.
But it's like,
Hawkeye is
when you're dealing
absent from the trailers. I kind of hope our joke is
me too.
Thanos just breaks
Me
him in
too.
half instantly,
Yeah.
snaps his neck.
Yep. And it's like, Hulk is the strongest, but he's so unpredictable.
Right.
You know, it really falls to Thor.
I like that. I like that in Thor Ragnarok, where Hulk had been Hulk for like a long time.
Emotions.
Yeah.
Emotions.
Very cool.
When
what happened? How
What
did
is
he
the
get there?
line, dude? When they're in his room, and he's like, "Nobody likes you," to Hulk, and Hulk is just like,
Yeah.
he's all sad. I was like, dude, it's brutal.
Yeah. Very, very intense. Yeah, that hilarious movie. Jeff Goldblum like doing a little DJ set. Like, what? I love it.
Yeah.
I so love that they let them do that. That they let them go for it.
Yep.
Like, back in the day, like a couple of years ago, Marvel stopped Edgar Wright from doing Ant-Man. Like, 'cause whatever. And like, I feel like now Marvel is finally like, they're taking chances. They went for it.
Yeah.
And I think it was the right way to handle Thor. I think it made Thor appealing to someone like me who'd never seen any of the Thor movies, who, like, I don't love the Avengers movies. I don't think any of them have been that good. I thought they just have too much to handle.
I love the first one.
I mean, they're entertaining, but like, whatever. I think the
I love
first
them
one's
all.
kinda
I'm a
messy,
Marvel.
but, like,
I'm an
whatever.
MCU fanboy. We know this.
Yeah. David Geist says that Wonder Woman almost pulled it off to become one of the few superhero movies to escape the genre limitations that are holding many of these movies back for me, but ultimately botched it with the last act and ended up being just a very good superhero movie for me. I have to give it to Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which I liked much more than I was hoping for. Had a great time watching this one with a lively crowd. I see what you mean. I think Wonder Woman, the third act, is very much just paint by numbers. Like,
The Ares fight.
yeah, very, very normal Marvel end fight,
The Ares
with
fight.
with no real stakes.
Yeah, no sense.
But I thought Wonder Woman did a really good job before that. I loved the scene of her like walking into the war and just like solving that because she felt like she had to. Like,
Yeah.
I like Wonder Woman as a character.
Definitely.
Also, it's like definitely the best of the DC movies.
Yeah.
I think the recent DC movies.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the third act is a little whatever.
Yeah.
A DC ending. No, I said Marvel before. But yeah, and I didn't like Guardians 2 really.
I remember you said this.
I
Shocking.
I felt like it. I felt like they were like, well, the first one had heart, so we got to inject heart into every scene, or every storyline has to be whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, okay.
I felt it.
I loved the first one.
I felt the heart.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't bad. Again, it's entertainment. I was entertained.
Yeah.
All right. What film disappointed you the most? Volker
Alien.
Bach. Yeah, Alien.
Alien, yeah.
Alien.
The most
For both of us.
disappointing.
Yeah.
I thought
Devastating.
it would be the one.
I thought that they would learn from Prometheus
Exactly.
and go the opposite way
Yeah.
instead of learning from Prometheus and go digging in deeper with the stupid. Oh God.
Yep.
We talked about it already. Volker Bach, Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Not a bad movie, but not even close to the first. I agree.
Didn't see it.
It was not great.
That's disappointing.
I liked the first one,
Love the first one.
and this one
Kingsman, dude.
was pretty whatever.
Oh,
Pretty whatever. Brittany Fuller says Valerian. This was a candidate for my least favorite film, but I decided it fit better here. Most disappointing. This movie had so much potential, but it was squandered through the execution, weird pacing, clumsy writing, bad chemistry, and poor choice for the leading role. Dane DeHaan is a fine actor, but completely miscast as the lead. I agree.
yeah.
I didn't dislike Cara Delevingne as aggressively as a lot of people, and I blame the writing for her character more than her acting. I thought Rihanna was one of the most surprisingly good things about the movie, but the whole side plot with her character was strange and unnecessary. The opening sequence of the movie is extremely good, which makes the awfulness of the rest of the movie even more apparent. I agree 100% with all of this. I agree to such an extent that I actually did a fan edit. I re-edited Valerian.
That's so cool.
I cut out 23 minutes. I've been hemming and hawing on putting out the EDL, the edit decision list.
Yeah.
Because it's illegal for me to share the movie I made.
Yeah.
It's illegal for me to show the movie I made.
Dang.
It's, I think, legal. I actually talked to Hogue Law about this. It seems legal and within the area of fair use to put out my edit decision list. And then if you take your version, like if you buy Valerian, which please do, buy it, and then you can then take the file yourself from your purchased copy and re-edit it. That's what I did. That's fine. And like, it's just for yourself.
Yeah.
So you can do whatever you want. So I think that's allowed.
Okay.
But basically, I cut out 23 minutes. I took out most of their interactions with each other that were unnecessary. Took out the bad acting, the bad writing with them. I took out the entire, I think almost all, which is a shame because I liked the Passion Alley area, and I thought Rihanna's character was like okay until it was super dumb. But I took out that entire beat, that entire section with Rihanna and the dumb alien wedding. I took all that out. And just shortened it 23 minutes shorter. And I actually think it's a pretty strong movie now. I mean, it's not like amazing or perfect. And it does have an unexplained costume change where they get dumped out of the trash chute and then Cara Delevingne is suddenly in like a white wedding kind of outfit.
Yeah.
But it sort of plays as a joke because they're like arguing with each other about like directions and like how they're like get lost and like their plans aren't working out. So it sort of feels like a like, what have they been up to kind of a joke where it's just like they're all covered in trash and she's wearing a different outfit.
That's
like
funny.
What happened? So it kind of feels like a joke.
Yeah.
So I think it works. But yeah, so I re-edited Valerian.
That's really funny. That's so funny.
Yeah. But yeah, because that movie had such potential and I really love Fifth Element and I think that director is just very interesting.
I had a fun time with it.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations where it wasn't very good, but I had a fun time.
Yeah, exactly. Alex Mallory, disappointed, most disappointed. My least favorite movie of the year, unfortunately, Last Jedi. There are definitely worse movies of the year, but I didn't see them. They say the movie is a mess. The tone is all over the place. The jokes do not fit at all. There are scenes that lead to nothing. And the fact that the Finn side story feels like complete filler. Most of the characters end up in the same place they were in the beginning of the movie. I don't know if I agree with that. No development whatsoever. The new characters introduced in the movie are terrible and make terrible decisions throughout their appearances. The Force Awakens revitalized the Star Wars franchise in a great way, setting up new epic story with interesting characters and questions. The Last Jedi throws that all out with a window and makes nothing out of it. Very disappointing.
Dude, Poe, Kylo, and Rey develop so much.
Yeah, I think they change.
They
change in pretty huge ways, and Luke changes in a huge way where he finally comes to grips with what being a hero means, and he finally makes his last thing, but we talked about it all already.
Yeah, we talked. You talked.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I just kind of like went forever.
Because I was on the spoiler mode
you were
for
on the spoiler
hours.
mode. I didn't get to do it.
I was yelling. We were all just yelling.
Yeah, I figured.
So if you want to see that.
Yeah, when I saw that it was 55 minutes, I was kind of like, yeah, all right.
An hour of yelling.
Morgan Mahala, biggest disappointment of 2017 was War for the Planet of the Apes. The comment actually says, sorry, Huber. That movie was all over the place, and it was hard to believe the villain's motivations. I never saw that one.
Hard to believe the villain's motivations. Humans are going extinct. It's literally a fight for survival.
Classic. Tale as old as time.
Tale as old as time. I mean, you go back to the original Planet of the Apes won already.
Yeah.
So it's like we've been building up to that naturally.
Yeah.
As,
you
these 3 movies.
You blew it up.
The entire Planet of the Apes franchise is really close to my heart. The originals growing up, the VHSs.
Really? I've only ever seen the first one, I think.
I love...
And all the remakes.
The first one is way better.
Yeah.
The 60s, the original. They're all pretty good. Some of them are really weird, like Beneath and Conquest, and some of them are very strange. The Tim Burton remake, I do not like at all.
Yeah, not great.
But then now this trilogy, I just absolutely adore.
Yeah,
and War for Planet of the Apes was almost it was like my number 6 in my top 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
which we'll get to shortly. One other thing, Dominic Barlow in the comments did a really interesting thing that I really liked. He did best movie I saw with my dad and best movie I saw with my mom, which is great. I love that.
Have that.
Like the cozy thing. His with dad was Guardians 2, and with his mom was The Big Sick.
Nice.
What would yours be? Do you have?
With my mom, I saw I, Tonya, because she loves figure skating.
Sure. I still need to see that. I want to see that.
And with my dad, just the other day, Hostels.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. I saw a billboard for that, and that's it.
Nice. It's Western.
Okay.
I try to see all the Westerns with my dad.
Sure.
It's been a while since we went.
It's been a while
since there was a good Western. My dad got me into Westerns. He really got me into film when you break it down. So it was fun seeing that with him. And it was fun seeing I, Tonya with my mom because I got to ask her about everything. Because I've watched figure skating with my mom, all growing up. So anytime the Winter Olympics are coming, I'm looking forward to watching just ice skating with her.
Yeah.
So it was perfect. She didn't even know about it, the movie.
Oh yeah.
It's dude, mom, there's a Tonya Harding movie.
Yeah.
Margot, it's nominated. It's getting all these awards. It's good reviews. She's like, oh really? Okay. She thought I was gonna a documentary at first. I'm like, no, it's a drama.
But kind of they interviewed and then based them on interviews. It's a very interesting way of making a movie. I like that. I'm trying to think if I saw a movie with my dad this year. I might have. I mean, the quintessential, that's not a great movie, but because I saw it with my dad, it elevated it, was Oblivion.
Nice. Yeah.
Because it's whatever movie.
Yeah.
Average at best.
Yeah.
But because I saw it with my dad, I was just over the moon. I was like, yeah. My mom passed away a few years ago, but Galaxy Quest was always one that was like that with us. That was she loved that one. All right. Now, time for top 5s.
Let's do it.
So I asked our patrons in the $7 and up tier, the movie club, to give me their top 5s, and I took their favorites and made a little list. It's not 5 long. So the list, in order from least most liked to most liked. Most liked. So these are all the top films. We've got Coco, Baby Driver, 3 Billboards, I Am Not Your Negro, Dunkirk, and Mother were all tied.
Whoa.
As mentioned once as a favorite each.
Okay.
And then Get Out had 5 favorites.
Yeah.
And then Blade Runner 2049 had 7. So that was our
number one?
Number 1.
Sick.
Was Blade Runner.
Excellent.
Yeah. And then bottom one, because I took everyone's least favorite movie too, and I did the same thing. So with tied for 1 vote each, Dark Tower, Emoji Movie, Justice League, and Guardians 2.
Guardians 2?
Yeah, I know.
What?
And then Alien Covenant and The Snowman each had 2. And then the most least liked movie was Last Jedi, 5 votes.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Hey, like what you like.
And then, like what you like. And then just a quick list of the most surprising movies to our patrons. Kong Skull Island, Logan Lucky, Jumanji, It, Gerald's Game, Last Jedi, Wonder Woman, Twin Peaks The Return, which I'll count. That's an 18-hour movie. Blade Runner, Logan, and Thor.
Nice.
Logan and Thor were the most mentioned.
Nice.
Yeah. What's your top 5?
I wrote it down here.
Wrote it down.
Remember, I don't like top 5s. I don't like lists.
Yeah. It's stressful.
I don't like doing
It's hard.
this. I don't like it one bit.
Don't choose your favorites,
Last Jedi. Wait,
Are
should
you
I
going
go
from the bottom or to the go
the
from
bottom to the top?
least to
Okay,
best?
Mother.
Sure, okay.
Just slid in, number 5.
Number 5.
I loved it. Maybe because I had the theater all to myself with my friend and I went in blind. It was one of the most memorable movie going experiences I had this year. It was one of the most pleasant, I should say. I just had a great time from top to bottom with Mother. Number 5. Number 4, Last Jedi.
Okay.
Number 3, Shape of Water.
Cool.
Number 2, Dunkirk.
Wow.
Number 1, Blade Runner.
Yeah. I like it. I couldn't decide on a number 5 for me, so I think it's like Shape of Water, Last Jedi, like maybe some indie I forgot about but loved, Yeah, so one of those. Number 4 is Baby Driver.
Nice.
I really like it's not a great, perfect movie, and I think the story kind of falters a little bit, but just as an achievement of forethought and editing and disciplined shooting, I thought it really nailed it. Get Out.
Get Out.
Because that movie is so
Get
good.
out! Get out!
Blade Runner 2049 is my number 2. Despite its issues, I still really loved it. The feel, the look.
Your number 1 is
The sounds.
Lady Bird.
My number 1 is Lady Bird.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Lady Bird is my favorite movie of the year.
I haven't seen it yet.
I just think that it is so well written, so well done, so well acted, so well paced.
Highest reviewed movie of all time on Rotten Tomatoes.
Lady Bird?
Best reviewed movie of all time.
Wow. I
Number
didn't
1.
know that.
Yep.
It is
Past Toy Story or whatever.
Lady Bird, basically I have no problems with it. None.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I just don't have a problem with it.
Good vibes.
I loved it.
I can't wait.
And it's a challenging movie. It's not like just a cut and dried feel good,
Yeah.
I really, really liked Lady Bird.
Nice.
It's so good. Yeah. So what I thought we could maybe do is, should we try to come up with a Reaction Shots official top 5, or is that just insane?
Blade Runner.
Probably
Is
Blade
there.
Runner. If it's you, me,
If it's
and
my
the
number one,
patrons,
if it's my number 1, the patrons number 1, and your number 2, it's
Blade
our
Runner
number 1.
Probably number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll make our official
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. Then it would have to be Get Out.
Get
'Cause
out.
It's on all 3 of our lists.
It wasn't in my top 5,
It wasn't in your top 5?
but
I thought it was. I'm sorry.
no.
I forgot.
But I'm happy with it being there.
Well, then maybe it's not number 2. It was the patrons number 2 and my number 3.
Yeah. Put it in there. I'm cool with it.
All right. And what else? Did we have any other commonalities?
Dunkirk.
I never saw
Shape of
Dunkirk.
Water.
Shape of Water. Okay.
Last Jedi?
Sure.
Like number 5 maybe?
Okay, yeah. And then what should number 4 be?
4.
Like my Lady Bird was my number 1, but it wasn't on either of
and
your
I haven't
lists.
seen it, but
You
if
haven't seen it.
if I saw it, I would probably agree with you, Ian. I'm very excited for it.
But since I haven't seen Dunkirk either, it's like
Yeah.
it doesn't feel right. Mm-hmm. What was your top 5 again? Run me down.
Dunkirk, Shape of Water, Blade Runner, Mother, Last Jedi.
Okay. Don't want to put Mother on there necessarily.
No.
Oh
I'm cool with Get Out on there for sure.
yeah, abso. We can do top 4.
Top 4.
All right. The official.
Because Last Jedi is controversial.
Yeah. Official Reaction Shots. You just witnessed it happen in front of your eyes. Last Jedi number 4. Shape of Water number 3 or 2?
2.
Okay. Get Out, number 3. Shape of Water, number 2.
Yeah.
Blade Runner 2049, number 1. Official.
I like it.
All right. Real quick, what films are we looking forward to in the coming year? I'll just read down some of the ones that were mentioned by various patrons. Infinity War came up a lot.
Oh, dude.
Predator, Annihilation, Mortal Engines, Ready Player One, Early Man. Morgan Mahala mentioned that they were worried, but looking forward to Pacific Rim 2, Jurassic World 2, Sicario 2, Incredibles 2, Wreck-It Ralph 2, and very excited for Isle of Dogs because it's Wes Anderson.
Isle of Dogs looks
Isle of Dogs
amazing.
looks bonkers, yeah.
Yeah.
Annihilation, I think, is my number 1 because I've read the book. I've read the entire trilogy.
Nice.
I really hope they don't botch it.
Southern Reach trilogy.
The Southern Reach trilogy. It's so good.
Beth read all those.
Oh, I read them all. And I read the other one that he wrote. That was really good too. But yeah, those books are bonkers, and I hope they don't botch the movie because
Alex Garland.
hard to film. Yeah.
Alex Garland. He won't botch it.
Alex Garland has a history of a weird third act, though. Sometimes the third act doesn't always mesh.
Yeah.
Sunshine. Which is not, a terrible movie.
Yeah.
But like the first 2 acts are one of the best sci-fi movies ever made, and then the
Yeah.
third act is just like, all right.
Yeah.
And in subsequent viewings, it's better because like the crazy third act is foreshadowed. Like anytime a flashlight passes the lens, you see like a crazy face and stuff. So it's like it's there, but whatever. What's your most anticipated?
Avengers is like
Okay,
the
Infinity
most
War?
anticipated movie of my entire existence.
Yeah.
There's been nothing like this. I have been in the trenches, boots on the ground since Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
This is a 10-year culmination.
Yeah. We know you love a culmination.
It's unlike anything anyone has ever been a part of. You know, this many movies for this long culminating. I'm very excited. They've been knocking it out of the freaking park with these movies.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be more excited. I know there's an Avengers 4 coming. The Avengers 3 was supposed to be 2 parts, but then it got so big, I guess, they made it 2 movies.
Which one was?
Avengers 3.
Oh, okay.
It was going to be Avengers 3 Part 1 and Part 2, but now it's just Avengers 3 and 4.
Okay.
So I hope...
That's probably better, right?
It's probably better. I'm hoping it feels conclusive, kind of. I hope it's just not like stalling for Avengers 4. I hope it really is like its own thing each time. Yeah. So it's weird because it feels like 2 culminations in a way. You know what I mean? So, but hands down, Avengers 3 is. I can't even wait.
Yeah.
Can't even wait. I can't wait. I need it.
I mean,
like right now.
It's one of those movies where it's like I'm gonna see it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. If anyone, mark my words, Ian, if anyone from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. shows up,
you're gonna cheer.
I will weep and cheer and applause and just be content for the rest of my life.
Oh, speaking of S.H.I.E.L.D., you had a top 5 of shows, right?
Yeah, do you have a top 5 of shows? I thought we were doing that.
Black
You mentioned
Mirror.
it yesterday.
Go for it. Do yours.
I got Black Mirror. I got Black Sails.
All right.
Luke Arnold. This came out in January of last year. It was the final season of Black Sails.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it. I had the honor and the privilege of doing a Huber Syndrome with Brad and Luke Arnold himself.
Wow.
A discussion about all of Black Sails. So Brad and I finished it, and then we had Luke Arnold on to talk about just
whatever.
The whole deal.
Yeah.
The whole thing. It was incredible. It was so much fun.
Good vibes.
It was such good vibes.
I need to finish it.
The Leftovers season 3. I'm so sad you don't watch this, Ian. I'm so bummed because
I don't know if I've ever hated a season 1 as hard as I hated The Leftovers.
That it's nothing. Like you don't even know.
Yeah.
How
watched,
radically different season 2 and season 3 are.
I think I saw the first episode of season 3 and I was like, oh, okay, this is really good. Interesting.
I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
I just want to scream.
Maybe I'll just skip season 1 and watch the because I know how season 1 ends.
Halt and catch fire. Do not sleep on the show. It is another show that's over.
Yeah.
And had a beautiful final season.
Yeah.
unbelievable payoffs, so much emotion. If you like video games, I recommend it because there's like subplots of video games in *Halt and Catch Fire*. It's a great cast and great characters. And lastly, they're coming. Vikings and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I kind of cheated on this because they both just started at the end of the year. Well, I guess there's always like bleed over.
I'll allow it.
From like last season, this season.
Hey,
so
we can
like
do what we want.
S.H.I.E.L.D., I guess, was Ghost Rider last season, but now they're in space. It's amazing.
Right.
So much heart and soul in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I try to say it every time, when I watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I get so emotionally invested because of the chemistry with all of the characters. Yeah. Everything in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is earned, and that is such a big thing. Big story beat payoffs always feel earned, and that's so hard in shows now, Like, even Game of Thrones to an extent, like... No, I don't want to go there. Maybe. Yeah, Game of Thrones isn't quite over yet. So, like, it'll be telling how earned it is
in
in
60
the end,
years when the last season comes out.
Yeah.
We'll see how they handle it. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't have a top list, but I mean Black Mirror, Dark would be on there probably.
I got to watch it.
German time travel sci-fi show on Netflix. I'm like kind of bad at telling people apart.
Yeah.
And like, boy, is it hard and dark.
I'm really good with faces.
I'm not great with
faces.
It's
my strength.
I'm not great with faces. I'm just looking down like somebody else's top 25 list.
There's so many good shows. I just saw *Halt and Catch Fire* there. I'm happy about that.
Twin Peaks.
*Handmaid's Tale*.
I haven't watched *Handmaid's Tale* yet. I need to. I really want to.
Hardest show of all time.
That's why I haven't, because I'm just like, it's
to
too
get
real.
through.
We're already in this reality.
It is brutal.
Yeah.
The most brutal Black Mirror's brutal.
Yeah.
Dude, *Handmaid's Tale* is brutal.
Yeah.
I can handle these things, usually. I can handle dark shit. Like, Attack on Titan Season 2 is kind of challenging me.
Yeah.
*Handmaid's Tale*, I can't watch more than... it took me so long. I watched one episode, every 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, okay.
Well, it's
sure.
like, when Black Mirror first came out, it's like punishing to the audience. It's like bad things happening to good people.
Yeah.
Black Mirror now is like bad things happening to kind of the right people. Like, bad things should be happening to these people, by and large.
Callister, dude. It's pretty sad.
The dude's a monster. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he is, but
no, that's great.
when they were trapped in there,
they're living the dream.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, it's like Pan's Labyrinth, like punishing to the audience.
Yeah,
it's like F you for watching.
Yeah,
Yep. Also, I'd have to mention The Good Place.
Love The Good Place.
It's like, I was a little worried in parts of season 2, but I'm just like, no, all right, they're back.
Cool.
It's great. And I want to mention, I think we'd be remiss not to mention Twin Peaks: The Return.
I haven't watched it.
There were parts of Twin Peaks: The Return where I was furious with David Lynch.
Whoa.
So angry. Like, the Dougie Jones stuff is just so tedious, and like, it is far too long, Twin Peaks: The Return. But once it ended, it actually won me back in a way that I was even surprised by.
Yeah.
Definitely it wasn't... Twin Peaks: The Return was not fan service. Like, it didn't give any of us what we exactly wanted.
Kind of a Last Jedi situation.
Right. But then at the end, I was like, okay, all right.
My leg's
you still
asleep.
did your thing.
Oh, okay.
We're closing in. Huber's Legacy.
I'm
I gotta
sorry.
go to the bathroom. Something fierce.
I saw he was nominated for a Golden Globe. That's really cool.
Kyle MacLachlan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh.
And he's amazing.
And he's in Portlandia?
S.H.I.E.L.D's so good. Damn it, it's good.
Is it always good, or did it start kind of
Season 1 is rough.
Okay.
But Season 1, Winter Soldier happens, and that's when everything changes. That's when the show gets amazing.
Okay.
When Winter Soldier goes down and S.H.I.E.L.D. blows up and it's all Hydra,
right.
buckle up.
Buckle up.
Strap in.
Nice.
So good.
Can you think of any quotes? You want to do the quote challenge, or should we just call it? It's been a long episode.
Call it.
Call it. We're calling it.
Call it.
So we'll be back second Friday of next month. We'll start back up with our normal formatting of having an assignment film for the month, and that'll tie into the next episode, kind of linking it thematically. Not sure exactly what the theme will be next month, but we're going to do a B movies episode. We're going to do a queer cinema episode. We're going to do lots of episodes. We'll see when the order is. We got some.
We're doing a Marvel episode before Infinity War.
All right,
I'm calling it
we'll
right
do a Marvel
now.
episode before Infinity War. Tying that in with something else will be interesting. But we got some cool guests lined up. It's going to be a great season. 2018 here on Reaction Shots. If you want to be part of the discussion, if you're in the $7 and up tier on patreon.com/easyallies, that gets you into the discussion. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. We have a cool community that loves film, talks about film.
2017 was a really interesting year.
It's a very weird year.
The best movies are like the big blockbusters.
Yeah.
It's very
by and
strange.
large, it's like, what's happening?
Yeah.
2017. Yeah, what a weird year. But yeah.
Good TV.
Gotta maintain hope for the future.
Maintain.
What did you say? Good what?
Good TV.
Oh yeah, good TV. Peak TV.
Peak TV is the lingo
Peak
now.
TV.
Yep.
But
seen
anyway,
that on like 4 different sites,
yeah,
and I'm
I've
like, okay, this is a thing now.
I've heard it.
Peak TV.
Peak TV. the platinum age. All right. Well, thank you, Michael Huber. What?
I didn't bring up one of my favorite shows.
Do it.
I by the way, I also said 6 shows. I tried to slip an extra one in there. You weren't counting.
What's 7? Give us number 7.
Stranger Things.
Oh yeah.
And I'm so mad at you.
What?
Because I'm blaming you, Ian.
Okay.
I wanted to do a damn spoiler mode, and you like went out of town or something.
I went out of town, but I was all about.
We were all set to do it, and you're like, "Oh, don't do it without me, because I got to go somewhere." And then I was like, "All right, we'll wait," and then it never happened. Blaming you.
We could have done it before I left.
Let's do one really quick.
We were waiting on like Damiani.
Yo, it's a 10. Why does everyone hate the random episode 7, dude? It was a fine episode. Why does everyone not like it?
It tanks the pacing of the season, I think.
Tanks the pacing?
No, but here, imagine this.
Yeah.
Had that been a C story going throughout the entire season, it would have been better, and it would have had much more impact, I think. Like, I know what they were doing, but I think it would have sped everything up to have her leave earlier in the season and have that be the arc for the whole season and then come back.
But it was so cool when she came back.
It was very cool when it came back, and it would have been even cooler if it had been building throughout the season, is what I think.
Yeah.
Because it kind of halted all the other... Like, 6 ends on a cliffhanger, and then we go on and piss off to Chicago for an hour.
But it was cool, too, because, like, she was with Hopper the whole time, so she's been gone forever, and then she did this. So by the time she came back, it was, like, even more of a change for her in the eyes of the kids and everyone.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa, she's been through it.
Like, I ain't against it, but I think it would have been better served had it been, like, at least a 2 or 3 episode arc in the background of the other episodes. I think it would have been more powerful.
Yeah.
Also, like, the little weird band of punk outcasts I thought was, like, fun, but it's like...
Set them up, though. Set them up for next.
But it's like, are you trying to make a spin-off? Like, what are you guys doing? Like, is this the villain of the next one?
It's the 80s.
Yeah.
It's the 80s.
It's like, hey, here's all the things we didn't get to do because we're in a small town. Huh? But
Top 3 characters of the year.
Hopper.
Bob.
The
brain. Bob the frickin' brain.
Saint Bob.
MVP of 2017.
I love Bob.
Bob.
Spoiler alert.
God, I love
Like,
Bob.
when things go down with Bob, I was shook.
Bob the brain.
Love Bob the brain.
Yep.
Ugh.
It was great. I can't wait for season 3.
Let Winona Ryder be happy.
Just let her.
I was a little something that surprised me is that the season 2 kind of ended with more finality than I thought it would. It didn't. It's kind of a soft pitch into season 3.
In their eyes,
it's over.
You know,
they made it.
In their eyes,
yeah.
That's what I love. You know,
they think it's
and
safe.
The dance is so great. Yeah. I love everything there when she goes to dance with him. Oh my gosh,
little weird if they like coerced a kid to kiss another kid. Like that's not cool.
Wait, what happens?
There was a story like kind of half. I only half heard about it, but like one of the characters may not have known a kiss was coming or something like that. Yeah,
to like try to get the reaction
I
or something.
Really know. Yeah, I don't really know the full extent of it, but you know, these are kids. You gotta be careful. But you know,
loved it.
Yeah,
ominous ending shot.
Yeah.
Do you like it as much as season 1?
I liked it more than season 1. I thought season 1 was like okay, not great.
Yeah.
And season 2 was like good, not great.
Good, not great. All right. I'll take it.
I liked it.
I'll take it.
For me,
I'll take
that's
it.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll take it. Good, not great.
Good, not great.
Also,
it's like an 8, it's fine.
also, what's his name? Baseball bat kid. Steve, dude.
I love
Steve hype.
I love all the like memes of Steve being like the dad to these kids.
Yep.
Steve is great. I love
Yeah.
Steve.
He's like, you're not dying on my watch.
Yeah,
When they were
yeah.
like in the tunnel, he's like, I'm going first.
Yeah.
You're not dying on my watch. Get out of my way.
I liked Max. I thought it was kind of a bummer that her
Mad Max.
but her storyline is kind of only there as like a reflection for the boys. She's like more of a prop than a person. But I think that she'll be great in season 3.
Set it up, baby.
Yeah. So
Set it all up.
and like her storyline with her brother was like kind
Dude.
of like not handled exactly
Abusive
perfectly,
brother.
but like it kind of just like
abusive father all the way on down.
yeah, but that's kind of like a stereotype where it's like, oh, if you get abused, you become an abuser. Like that's not entirely always true.
She'll break that cycle though.
Yeah.
Mad Max.
Mad Max.
Because the brother's too weak.
Yeah.
But he'll have redemption, maybe.
Yeah, who knows? I liked that Lucas got actually more stuff to do in this season, and
Yeah.
the scenes with his family I thought were really cool. It was nice to see a successful black family in something.
What's Will Myers, dude? Will Myers this season.
Oh, getting like possessed.
Out of control performance.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yep.
I liked Bob the Brain's like well-meaning advice totally being the wrong thing, like because he's like just turn around and say get away, you know.
Oh yeah.
And then that's what causes him to get like full on possessed by like the
like stands up
forces
to
of
it.
darkness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that scene
Love
was
it.
haunting.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, Stranger Things is a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Season 3 will be cool, hopefully.
Yeah.
Cool. They green. The Expanse wasn't this year, was it?
I
We
don't
need to talk
think
about
so.
how The Expanse is like the greatest sci-fi show.
It's coming
happening.
back. It's coming back.
Yeah, 2018, baby.
It's coming back.
The Expanse. Get hype.
Yeah, get hype.
Anyways, this has been Reaction Shots 2017 rundown. It was like 2.5 hour episode.
Whoa, we're frame trapping it.
We're frame trapping it. Anyways, thank you very much for listening. Normally these episodes are an hour. We've got some exciting guests, cool themes coming up for 2018. Yeah, so please join us. Patreon.com/EasyAllies. Patreon or YouTube.com/EasyAllies.
Twitch.tv/EasyAllies.
YouTube.com/EasyAllies. Please.
Twitter.com/EasyAllies.
Twitter.com.
EasyAllies.
MySpace.com/EasyAllies2. It was already taken, so we had to put a 2 behind it. That was fake. Anyways, I'm Ian Hink. This is Michael Huber. We are your illustrious hosts.
See you next month.
See you next month. Bye.